Uh, Welcome back, guys, to the live show. I'm joined tonight by Royce of Revenge of the Sis. I just had Merch on, so I figured I'd finish up the trifecta.
Oh, I like it. Thank you for having me on, dude. I appreciate it. This will be
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, and thanks for having me on the show the other day. That was a lot of fun, dude.
Yeah, you're always welcome, man. You're I think you're up there with, I think you're the number 2 person on the list of people we've had on, like, the most appearances on the show. I think Frank LA Werewolf has one more on you.
Yeah, I would assume Frank does with his him and Merch doing their investigations and stuff.
I know it's crazy. Everyone's all angry. People are always mad at us, though. I mean, since the beginning. Like, nobody really likes to get along with us because, and we get shit for it all the time. Like, when we started this, Revenge of the Sis, we were like, I'm kind of sick of all these circle jerks going on. Like, it's like, I don't get me wrong, I like having people on the show, but I don't know. And I guess we're all guilty of it in some way, but it went from people putting on a show and being it funny or informative or whatever, to every show we just turned into, I gotta read the super chats. And I'm like, oh God, again with this. Like, do a show, like, you don't need to sit there and read super chats all day. I mean, it'll destroy you. We prefer to sit there. We tell our fans, like, you send a super chat if you want, but there was one rule. I don't care how much money you give. If it's not funny or interesting, we're not reading it,
Yeah. And see, I don't have super chats available, so I do Streamlabs, but honestly, I'll read them when I have time, and I'll read them out to people if it's part of the conversation. I'll read it out in the time frame when it comes in. But if it's not, then I'll mention it later. There's no point in diving into it when we're in a totally different conversation. Hold on. I got a super chat. It says your mom gay.
Oh, okay. I know. It's like, again, like, look, I get it. We all want to make money. That's why, eventually that's why we do this. Right. But I don't know, man. I think it's Mike and I have more of a regular radio background, like, a talk radio background. And we want to put together a show. We put time into everything and energy, and it's like, you can't be stopping every 5 seconds and cut the flow off because somebody, asked a question and then, I paid you money. It's like, look, we love the help. We love, the people that donate to us are already crazy. You know what I mean? So it's like, we're not looking to buy any fans. We want the fans, to like us and hopefully donate because they want to. I know it's not the best business model. I get that. We could probably make a lot more money if we had a different business model, but it's what we want to do. We want to put on a show. We want to be funny first, obviously, because that's our rule. Like, we're funny first, but before anything else, before politics, for anything, we're funny first. And that's why we get a lot of shit, because, we go after the right a lot too. And not because we don't agree with a lot of the stuff on the right, but because it's like, you gotta police your own. I think above all else, more, and I hate leftists a lot, but more than I hate leftists, I hate hypocrisy. Like that, that really bugs me. Like, on either side, when you do it, it's like, be principled,
Yeah, and that's the thing, is if you're gonna stand for something, stand for it at all times. Don't just start flip-flopping. And I don't know, man. I'm a back watcher. Like, I sit back and I watch and see what's going on before I make any conclusions or jump on anything,
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, we're not that, I guess. We're very what's the word?
Outspoken.
Yeah, reactionist. We're very immediate, and that's, maybe we have to apologize a little bit more than other people, but it's like, I don't know. We're very hot-headed.
Yeah, and that's fine though, because you have your fans and you have your people who want that kind of interaction, whereas I'm kind of more relaxed and just,
right.
I sit back and watch it and watch people's interactions and then come to a conclusion on my own, not just base it on the first thing I read,
Yeah, no, I know that makes sense. That makes sense. But
probably why you guys call me too nice and think I'm
You're Canadian. Very nice. You're very nice, man. Like, But I mean, again, it's compared to us, you know, we're not called nice. You know, we do our best, and we do have our principles, and we do have things that we believe in, but at the end of the day, like, sometimes a joke is worth it. It's, you know, sometimes you're like, I don't know, it was worth making that joke. I don't give a shit, you know?
Right. Honestly, though, the only reason, and I watch the show, the weekly or the daily show rather, that you guys do, and I just turn on my headphones and I have YouTube Red or Premium or whatever the fuck they call it now. So I don't have, because I don't need to watch what is going on the screen with you guys, because it's like radio. And so I'll put in my headphones and just listen while I'm doing work and other things. So, I mean,
that again comes from, like I said, we're old school radio guys, and it's like we want to make sure that the people watching the show, the people listening to the show via podcast, because we get a lot of people listen via podcast. They do, because, you know, they're on a car, they're in a commute, they're on a subway. So it's like we want to make sure that they get at least as close as possible interaction, get as close as possible the same kind of show as people watching live on YouTube, you know, and that makes it hard sometimes. That sometimes makes it us having to you know, describe everything, even though people on YouTube are looking at it. But, you know, I think it helps. You know, we like, again, we're this old school radio mentality where we don't even like dead air. You know, it's you got to keep going. You got to keep entertaining the people. You got to keep maintaining an audience, you know, because you don't want someone to switch over to Delilah or Light FM, you know?
Yeah. And I think that's why I am the way I am too, is with doing DJing and stuff for weddings when I was younger. I don't like dead air either. I try to pride myself on no major gaps. And so sometimes I'll stumble over the person I'm talking to, but I'd rather stumble over them and then actually continue the conversation. You know, it's one of those things where I see it in the live streams on YouTube a lot, where it's just silence. Like, I'll come onto a show and it's just dead. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah, no. And it's, I mean, you got to remember, you know, we've been called by people that dislike us, you failed radio host. It's like, all right, you can say whatever you want, but at least we've tried something. We've always tried. And I mean, even before this, Mike and I did radio for a while, and it was pretty much just a comedy-based radio show. But Mike and I seem to vibe really well when it comes to politics. I mean, one of the best bits we ever did on our old show, this is years ago. This is whenever the Occupy movement was going on, in the original Occupy Wall Street. We had a friend in New York, and name is Derek, and we sent him out there to actually interview people on his phone, like he was, you know, with his radio, interview people about what they were, you know, what are you doing out there? I think at one point we were, Mike, and I got to give Mersh credit for this, we started at Occupy Wall Street, we tried to start a rumor that Coldplay was going to play. And then we were telling everyone we talked to, go, hey man, did you hear the rumor that Coldplay's going to try to start a rumor? And one of the funniest things was some guy goes, no, I'm not really into Coldplay, I'm going to leave if they come. And Mike's like, you're not even going to stay for Clocks? And I don't know why, but ever since then we're like, you know what, this politics stuff might be good. And, you know, we stopped doing radio for a while. Mike was always living near me, but, you know, I've always done my radio show and my comedy radio show for a while. I filled in a couple times on a couple shows on XM. You know, it was a more of a TV and geek based podcast, because out of the two, I think I'm a nerd. Like,
yeah, me and you started spinning off into comic book talk, and Merch just got blah.
Yeah, I was like kid with a bunch of long boxes of comics, and, you know, I video games, and I mean, I'm a nerd. You know, I even still watch comic book TV shows. I'm 36, just turned 36 years old, and it's, you know, I like that kind of, not so much TV stuff anymore, because it's entertainment. And just, I will be honest, just in the past 5 years, I've seen this. Even things I liked has become so inundated with social justice and virtue signaling, and the tentacles are in everything. You know, it's like I'll watch a TV show and I'm like, man, this show, you know, used to be good, and now they have to bring. And by the way, I don't have any problem with a gay character. I don't have any problem with any of that stuff. You know, I don't care. But my problem is when it's forced, when it's like, oh, gay, like a show that I would watch that I used to watch, I don't watch anymore, was Supergirl. You know, the new Supergirl.
Oh yeah.
And I watched the first season, and honestly, liked the first season. It wasn't too SJW. It was whatever. But then, you know, they had her sister who was straight in a straight relationship. Now this last season, now she's a lesbian, and it's like, so you just needed a lesbian then? It's like, when it doesn't add to the plot, when it's just to, you know, Supergirl's going to have its first trans character ever. You know,
like why does okay? It doesn't matter, and it'd be one thing. And what I always run into with the comic books industry and stuff going on, and I'm a big fan of ComicsGate and the indie movement in comics lately, and stop forcing the characters who are already developed to be something that they have never been. If the character's straight, don't fucking make him not straight. Create a new character. Come up with new ideas. Stop trying to reboot things that have been popular for years into your intersectional bullshit, you know?
No, but that's the thing, man. It's not even a comic. Every TV show, it's like, I don't want to become that guy, but I'm trying to, you know, I'm sitting there trying to watch a show, and immediately it's oh, well, you know, we have to make sure we pander to this community. And then you spend half the episode on a subplot about a tranny fucking getting a power gem. It's like, what is this about? Like, you know, everything, though. It's not just comic books, man, and comic book TV shows or nerd TV shows. It's anything. We don't have something anymore. Like, and I say this like, we don't have a Johnny Carson anymore. You know what I mean? We don't have even by the way, and as annoying as he could be, even Jay Leno, like, we don't have that thing that people could turn into. And it was lighthearted jabs at the president, whether it be a Republican or a Democrat, and it was all fun. And, you know, it was all fun. And you could have someone like Carson who was a Democrat, didn't vote for Reagan, but then became friends with him because there was a time in this country where you weren't at each other's throats over politics. And now it's like every single late show. And the last holdout was Jimmy Fallon, but he gave in because he was like, I'm not really a politics guy. And then now he's all into, you know, now he's smashing Trump because there's nothing anymore that you could watch with somebody like, you know, outside of maybe what's left is like a Game of Thrones, you know, or something where you could go, all right, well, we could watch this because since it's set in fucking medieval times, you're not going to hear a make Westeros great again. And it's not going to be this dumb, you know, virtue signaling. You know, I was watching, I don't know if you watch it, but I was watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
And I had gotten two seasons behind because I was watching other shows. I'm lying. I was just rewatching Star Trek again, The Next Generation, for like 5 billionth time. It's what I do. I guess what I do. But so then I was like, all right, I'm gonna watch I was gonna catch up on the 2 seasons that are on Netflix. I had to watch up to 4. And by the way, up to 4, it was not in any way a political show. It was just, if anything, it was, you know, pro-government S.H.I.E.L.D., you know, it was, you know, pro-police force. Then there was a season where they all went to this fucking, I don't care if I spoil it because it's hot garbage. There was a season where they all went to like this mirror universe where, you know, Hydra had won. And they literally said, like, you know, we have to make Hydra great again or something like that. And use like the term, you know, false information instead of fake news. And I'm like, all right, you faggots, like, are you fucking serious? You can't lead. You have to interject. And the thing is, I don't understand. I always look at it this way. You could be two kinds of people. You could be the Michael Jordan or you could be the LeBron James. And what I mean is not in basketball terms, not in who's better at basketball, but you could be LeBron James, who completely cuts off half of his market when he starts virtue signaling hard to one side and saying Trump's an idiot and all that stuff. Or you could be Michael Jordan. Have you ever heard him say anything political? No, because he wants to sell shoes, you know, to little Republican kids, you know, to sneakerheads. And it's you know, there's not a lot of that left anymore. You know, it's every single late night show, like I said, they all have the same political views. I'm telling you, I guarantee you, I could write a late night show and tell you what jokes they're going to use because it's so paint by numbers, corny, fucking horseshit. You know what I mean? Like, and the thing is, like, here's a good example. I think John Oliver is funny.
Yeah, so do I.
I absolutely do think he's funny. And I was watching him up until, I was watching him. I don't agree with everything he says, but I was watching him up until the election. And, you know, he took some shots at Trump. I'm like, he's going to do that, whatever. But the moment Trump won, that show went from being like, oh, we're going to talk about Bitcoin this week, and we're going to talk about, you know, maybe prison reform and stuff that was kind of political, but, you know, it was just cool, informative stuff that he made funny.
Yeah.
Ever since Trump won, that's all it is. That's all it is. Everything goes back to bashing Trump. And I'm like, I can't anymore. It's like, I put up with a lot of stuff if you're funny, you know, but once my problem is that I think to be a standout person and to be funny, you have to be in some way different. And I feel like, man, every comic, every TV show, every late night thing, it's the same jokes. It's like, hey, Stormy Daniels, am I right? Yeah, okay, we got it. But that's just what Fallon said, and that's what Seth Meyers is going to say, and Colbert just said the same thing, and Conan just said the same thing, and Samantha Bee said the same thing, but said cunt too. It's like, all right, well, you guys are a bunch of unoriginal fucks. And honestly, it's sad because a lot of the people I'm talking about are genuinely funny. Genuinely. Colbert's another one. Colbert, when he was on Comedy Central, even making fun of Republicans, because that's what that show was, making fun of conservatives, you know, his Colbert Report.
Yeah.
It came from a place of, I disagree with you, but, you know, we're having fun, you know?
Yeah, yeah. He was trying to make it something that was enjoyable and actually funny versus all. And I agree. I don't think. I mean, maybe Conan. I haven't watched Conan in a very long time. Is Conan pulling the same shit?
He virtue signaled after the shithole comment and the Haiti thing. Conan went to Haiti and took pictures like Haiti isn't a shithole. Look, I've been to Haiti. It's a fucking shithole. I feel bad for those people, but it's not a fucking paradise. And Conan was taking pictures at a beach holding a coconut and drinking. And I'm like, you motherfucker, most of those people there are fucking starving and don't have homes and have AIDS. So yeah, when you're on a goddamn vacation pretending Haiti is awesome, it's not fucking awesome. Haiti is a shithole, and some of it's its own fault, and some of it other people's fault. You know, but fucking the Clinton Foundation, for example, Wyclef Jean, for example, people that literally stole money from them. You know, and that's really shitty. I have a co-host on the other show that I do. I do a show called Hippo Juice, which is just a comedy show. I've been doing it for fucking 10 years. And I have a co-host, Dutch, and he volunteers to build homes in Haiti, you know, because he gives it, but he'll be the first to tell you, no, it's fucking shitty there. You'll die. And Conan goes there with his coconut going, hey, see everyone, this is awesome. Sure, Conan, if you're a fucking millionaire, but not if you're fucking living in Haiti. Nobody ever says, where are you going to honeymoon? I'm going to go to Haiti. You want to know why? Because it's a fucking shithole. And
yeah, and they push that. They push the mindset of if it looks good from the outside, then it must be good on the inside. And just because it has white sand beaches in that one area, there can't be anything wrong with that country at all. You know, it can't be shitty.
Yeah, and it is, and it's fucking, it's disgusting, unfortunately. But it's. I mean, going back to what I was saying, dude, I get so frustrated. Like, I find myself getting angry because I want to escape the political stuff after. I do politics and do prep for the show fucking every day, right? And you want to escape it, and I could see why people are all in a frenzy. You can't escape it. You can't scroll through Facebook. You can't scroll through Twitter. You can't go to YouTube. You can't do anything because everything you watch is just injected with this narrative, with these politics. I mean, look what Twitter is doing. Twitter is, we talked about it on our show today. They're hiring people and saying we want better discourse, but really what it is, we're going to censor you. That's what it is. And these academics, you know, like I said earlier today, but these academics are, what they're doing is they have these fucking people that graduate from those echo chambers. 98%, by the way, of professors are liberal. That's a real fact. 98% are liberal.
Jesus.
Yeah, right. And the other 2% just haven't said it yet. It's so they do these experiments, and then they hire these people. Of course they're diverse, and because they're diverse, their ideas must be great. And what they do is they go there and they censor speech. You get popped for this. You can't make fun of that anymore. And now you're getting crucified for things you said 15 years ago. It's like, all right, man. At what point are you allowed to have a past? At what point are you allowed to have made mistakes? Nobody is allowed that anymore. People now on both sides, and fucking the right does this now, and that's what makes me so angry. And the left has always done it. It's you are now going and dissecting everything everybody has said their entire life. And when the left does it, it bothers me, but not as much, because that's what they are. They don't want free speech. If you break it down, the left doesn't want free speech. They don't.
No, not at all.
They want their speech. They want their narrative. The right, all I've been hearing from the right is, our amendments matter, the First Amendment. Unless you're going to destroy James Gunn's career, though. Then, if the guy made jokes, and they were fucking jokes, some of them were funny. But by the way, even if you didn't think they were funny, you could call them disgusting, but they're still jokes.
Yeah, exactly.
I talked about Sarah Silverman had some fucking jokes, and it's like, you guys are making me defend people I don't even like. I don't like Sarah Silverman. I think she used to be funny. I think she's a full-blown SJW. I don't want to defend James Gunn because he's a piece of shit who wanted Roseanne fired. But I'm on principle. I have to defend people, because you could go through. Well, you can't, because Facebook permanently deleted my account. But you could have gone through my old Facebook, and I probably had some edgelord jokes too, and some evangelical atheist stuff in my late 20s. It's like, yeah, people are stupid. You evolve, but it's like, are you going to ruin somebody's career? I hate the fire us mentality. I hate the get them fired. Why do we got to cost everybody a job? Why do people have to lose a job?
It's that mentality of, oh, they don't agree with me. They do it to us, so we're going to do it back. And it's really sad, because you have people who are good at their job and good people now. They may have made mistakes in the past, and I don't know people's stance or anything like that, in the way of like the James Gunn situation. Yeah, he's a fucking idiot for supporting banning Roseanne and everything else, but does that mean you go after him next? Like, the more you put this culture of argument and fighting each other in the headlines and out there, it's just going to get worse. Everyone's going to be digging into everyone's past. I mean, it's not going to stop. They're going to look for the next person on the right that they can go after, since someone on the right went after James Gunn. Cernovich, had a great hand in that, from all the shit and the article research that I did on that. Yeah. He played a big role in the James Gunn part, getting, those boomers activated.
Oh, no, I know. And it's, it's someone in the chat says James Gunn was served humble pie. Yeah, okay, I get it. But do we want to stand on our principles, or as conservatives, or forget as conservatives, as free speech enthusiasts? Do we want to stand on our principles, or do we want revenge? Because I want to stand on my principles. I don't want revenge. Like, I want James Gunn to be able to say everything, and I want Roseanne to be able to do this fucking same thing. I want everybody to be able to say whatever they want, and unless, again, you're inciting violence or a riot, you shouldn't lose your job for it. Because this is what I say, and I tell these fucking boomers all the time that are happy that James Gunn's fired. It's like, you understand that the conservatives have way more to lose in this little game that you guys are playing than the left does. Oh no, James Gunn's not going to be on Guardians. He's still a millionaire. Like, he's still a fucking millionaire, and he's still in those circles, and he'll be back on in a second. You're getting rid of these people. When they start coming after conservatives, they're going to go after firefighters who made an N-word joke 15 years ago. And it was, what I mean? Or they're going to go after a fucking a hardworking roofer because he made a gay joke when his 20s. Like that's we have more to lose. We can't. A lot of these people, when you start, people think it's just going to stop with Hollywood. They think it's just going to be, oh yeah, we're just taking Hollywood. No, people are now, they're going to lose their jobs in the real world, and people that cannot afford it. Roseanne could afford to lose her job. James Gunn could afford to lose his job. Other people out here cannot afford to lose it, because that's what happens, I believe that people are trying to destroy free speech in this country, and I do not like that the right, not the whole right, but a lot of people on the right have fallen party to it. They are part of it now, and it's like censor speech because what? Because revenge? Or do you believe in the First Amendment? Because all I've heard from people that are like, the First Amendment is, oh yeah, but not making baby fucking jokes. No, guess what? The First Amendment covers baby fucking jokes, not baby fucking. That's illegal, and they should be fucking killed. But the First Amendment covers baby fucking jokes. It covers all jokes. You could think they're disgusting. You could think they're gross. You could think, wow, you're a dick, but you shouldn't get people fired over them. What kind of can I ask for your fucking manager horseshit is that? That is. That's your manager. Fuck you, man. Fuck you. If you don't like, I've always believed in this. If you do not like what somebody is saying, you change the channel. If you don't like what somebody is saying in real life, you stop talking to them.
Walk away.
You have so many ways out of a situation before you have to take their livelihood away. Because guess what? Racists get to have jobs. I know that's a crazy statement, but racists are allowed to work and provide for their family. You know, everybody should be allowed to get a job if they're doing their job well. And I don't think James Gunn making edgelord jokes in 2008, which, by the way, everybody was. He's not. Oh, yeah. Everybody was.
You saw people start deleting their old tweets and shit. Look at Rianne Johnson and these others started freaking wiping their back catalog because it's like, you never know. Rianne Johnson's a piece of shit, but he knows that people don't like what he did to Star Wars, and so they would probably do the same shit to him faster. And if James Gunn, who made a great movie, can come under this kind of scrutiny, Rianne Johnson's next, you know? So I think he deleted like some 4,000 or 5,000 tweets. Not that there's anything there.
No,
but he's covering his ass.
Yeah, no one wants to sit there. I get that. No one wants to sit there and read 4,000 tweets. Like, I'll just delete them all. Like, fuck it, it's not worth it. John Duncan says, we have to prove to each other that this is a zero-sum game. No, why? So basically,
I think what he's meaning is that there is no winner and that everyone needs humble pie.
No,
so he's saying that, you know, if they're doing it, you're going to have back and forth. And it's just going to end up with both sides fucking wrecked, you know?
Here's my thing, man. I don't want to use leftist tactics, Cernovich. I don't want to use leftist tactics to beat them because then we become them. And it's like, at that point, then we start, it's fucking horseshoe theory, man. It's what it is. It's like, now we're going to become them. Now we're going to get people fired because, you got us fired. Now, they smashed Trump star. So now we're going to go and smash, I don't know, fucking Alec Baldwin star. Is that what we're going to do? We're going to, when the left is acting like children, we need to be adults, you know?
Yeah. And I'm 100% on board with that because it's the higher ground mentality. And I think, at least because I'm more center. I'm center as fuck. And so I float on a lot of issues. But when I see SJWs, and that could be on the left or the right because they're everywhere nowadays. And when they're doing this shit, it's just like, really? What are you accomplishing? Mm-hmm. More people need to join us in the center. We're the logical ones. We're the ones who are just like, why are you doing that? Why are you being an asshole? Why are you... Ethno-states, really? Come on. Like,
I'm not into the whole ethno-state stuff or that 1488 bullshit. Like, that's not, I've never been that.
Me neither, man. But you couldn't because you wouldn't be allowed.
No, I'm not.
You're brownish.
I'm Cuban. And again, like, I'll be honest with you. I've always thought of myself as a white dude, like, because I don't know. I just have. I didn't realize, like, all these little, until a few years ago, I didn't realize, wow, there's like a big difference. Like, I've always thought of myself as a white guy. Like, in Cuba, I'd be a white Cuban, you know what I mean? But when you come here, it's like, oh, you know, what do you know? It's like, I don't buy that. Like, listen, man, I do believe that, for example, that there is a lot of places in Europe right now that are losing their culture. I really believe.
Yeah,
I believe that. But does that mean? I believe that, and I think that they should maintain their culture. But I also don't go as far as going only white babies. Like, all right, man, shut the fuck up now. Come on. It's like, I believe that the problem, for example, what's going on in England isn't like, well, they're letting brown people over. No, they're letting over. And there's a difference. No, that's what it's. I believe it's the thought process. It's the countries they're coming from. They're but be honest, they do barbaric things,
and there's no cultural similarities, and there's such a big gap.
Yeah. It's always like, one of my favorite comedians is Richard Pryor, and it's that whole bit he did where he went to Africa to visit, and he was like, he doesn't know what to do there. It's like, just because he's black doesn't mean he's gonna. I said he doesn't mean he's gonna kill a lion. You know what I mean? Like it's that I don't really get into that ethno state bullshit. I'm more of a free speech absolutist.
Oh yeah, and that's why I just don't get the mentality of this whole situation that's coming around, which is, attacking others for their free speech. Like, that's the shit that Antifa does. Like, screaming at people for being Nazis. That's a freaking progressive ass tactic. And it's like, do you want to jump on that bandwagon? Because you can't be a free speech absolutist or really pro 1A if you're going to start jumping on people for jokes. And whether you like the joke or not, or if it's funny or not, they can say it. I can say, fuck you right now. I may get punched at some point, but I can say it.
Yeah, no. And that's, it's, I don't know, man. People, I'm not going to, like I said at the beginning of the show, I'd rather stand on my principles, man. I don't take any joy in seeing somebody losing their job over what they said. I don't. I really don't like that. Unless they said that they're going to shoot up the place. Okay, well then we could talk. Then you probably should lose your job. But if you made a joke, man, and it's you're not allowed to have a personal life anymore. That's what this is leading to. You're not going to be allowed to have a personal life. You're not going to be allowed to do, short of doing things in real life with people, and even still, it better be in your home, and someone can't overhear you. You're not going to be able to make jokes online anymore and then keep your jobs. I think it's shutting down discourse when we do that. That's the end game. It's shutting it down. And I don't want that. I want people to be able. I want people to be able to talk to each other, man. And I'm I'll call you an idiot if you're acting like an idiot. You call me an idiot too. I don't care, but I don't need anybody policing. Well, what's the right way we should speak to each other? And I believe that this gentleman should lose his job. No. Why? What's the point of that? Like, what perverse pleasure do you get out of someone losing their livelihood, regardless of what they fall on the fucking spectrum? You know what I mean? Like, perfect example is, and I'm, the New York Times thing, that chick that is on the editorial board.
Yeah.
I think that the New York Times are being fucking hypocrites. I believe that to be true. They're fucking hypocrites because, if you change the word white to black or Hispanic in any one of those tweets, there would be national outrage if the Wall Street Journal, for example, was hiring somebody that said those things and it wasn't white people. However, I still think the New York Times should hire whoever the fuck they want, regardless of what they've said. That is their prerogative. And now it is my prerogative to go, this company hires people that hates white people. I'm not going to read the New York Times, I'm not going to go, fire her, burn the witch. Like, why? She's an idiot. She clearly has a problem with white people, and she's Asian, which that's really weird because Asians rarely ever hate on white people. Like,
she's Korean though, and there is a high tendency towards racism in Korean people. I think Tim Pool was speaking about it today, and he was talking about there's like Korean nationalists, like similar to like white nationalists. And he went in, he was doing some stuff in Korea and some or South Korea, and there are people who are just
the good Korea, not the bad Korea.
Yeah, but even still, it's the good Korea. But there's groups there that are Korean nationalists, do not like white people, do not like brown people. Like, it's their own little ethno state.
I call them all karate chops because I can't tell the difference. I'm just like, you're karate chop. And it's
but see, you're allowed to. If I said that, I'm highly racist. I mean, I could say it, But then
Well, why am I allowed to? I'm Hispanic. I don't think because I'm Hispanic, I'm allowed to make fun of Koreans. Like, is that wrong?
If you have any skin pigmentation beyond like a tan, you get to say whatever the hell you want. That's what I hear.
Well, yeah, tell that to the black people that want to punch me in the face whenever I drop the N-bomb, because I don't think I'm allowed.
I don't know, man. I heard you can say whatever the hell you want. That's just you know,
I get
it. That's BuzzFeed.
I mean, here's my thing. I always thought the rules were, and maybe I'm wrong, but I always thought the rules were like black people could say the N-bomb to each other. Hispanic people could, call each other beaners or spics because we're Hispanic. We're allowed to. And Koreans could call each other. I don't know what a racial slur is for a Korean. They're fucking. Like,
well, hold on. Clint Eastwood. Remember that movie? Wasn't it Koreans?
I don't. You know what? I don't remember.
Torino?
Yeah, was slopes? Are Koreans called slopes?
I don't know. You just kept calling people zipperheads and shit.
Zipperheads. There's one. That's the one. Zipperhead. There you go. But it's like, listen, man, I'm old school. I just go the ching chong ding dongs, and it's like people know what I'm talking about. It's like the ching chong ding dongs over here. But you make a gong sound or go oh so like that stuff you're allowed to do. No, I always thought like you're allowed to make fun of your own. I mean, don't get me wrong. I make fun of everybody, but I thought the rule was that you're allowed to make fun of your own thing. But now I don't know if that's true because like dark-skinned Puerto Ricans use the N-bomb all the time to each other. So I don't know how it works, but I do believe that there is a misunderstanding. Like the left is so dumb. I mean, I know I'm not breaking any news, but like there's a misunderstanding that they think that us minorities, blacks and Hispanics, we all hang out with each other and we're all just get along and hate the white man. Man, I'll tell you this from firsthand experience. Hispanics are super racist. Black people are super racist. And I don't care. I think they should be allowed to be whatever they want, but they are. Do you think that Mexicans don't make fun of black people and black people don't make fun of Mexican? Come on, man. Hispanics make fun of other fucking Hispanics make fun of other Hispanics. Cubans make fun of Puerto Ricans all the time. You've heard of Polak jokes. For Cubans or Puerto Rican jokes. It's the same jokes. You put Puerto Rican. But Puerto Ricans say Cubans. And it's people in Argentina. If you live in Buenos Aires, you don't like anybody else in any other part of Argentina. Like it is this, there's this tribalism and racism everywhere. And I think that's the mistake the left made. And I think that's the reason Trump won is because you are trying to push a lot of people who wouldn't normally get along together. Like I've always said this, guys, here's a little secret. Conservatives are actually way, way, way better with gay people than a lot of black people are, especially church blacks, because they're very, people forget that a lot of black people is church and God and gospel and they're not, they will say my son better not be gay. I'll beat the gay out of him. And they're trying to force all these people to come together like some sort of retarded Voltron, and it's never gonna, or Power Rangers if you're younger. It's never going to work.
Fucking retarded Voltron. Yeah, and it's true though. Like I grew up in California, and the town I grew up in was high Hispanic, high white, high black. Like it was Mexicans, whites, and blacks, and a lot of the Mexicans and blacks did not get along. The white people were just trying not to get called racist, and then the others were just talking shit to each other. And I heard more hard R's dropped by Mexican people to black people than the white people.
Oh yeah, no, look, man, do they think that MS-13 and the Crips get along? Like, no, they don't get along. They're not buddies, and again, there's this such a hard push to get these people that wouldn't normally be together in the same, in the same group, and it's not gonna work, man. It's not work. They're not reporting it, and it's underreported. A lot of black people are moving over to Trump. A lot, because at the end of the day, people say whatever you want. The black unemployment and Hispanic unemployment rate's the lowest it's ever been in the history of this country. And it's like, you could call Trump whatever you want, but at the end of the day, you got a job and you have food in your belly. You're going to vote for that. I mean, that's most people, this whole political stuff, let's be honest, it's a dog and pony show. You know, the people on the right are going to be a certain way. The people on the left, they're ingrained, and the further you go, the more engraved they are. The people in the middle, they really just care about their job and their family. You know what I mean? And if money's coming in, and if you got a bonus because of a corporate tax cut, or you got a raise, and you're in a lower tax bracket now, you're probably going to go, I don't know, I kind of like this. You know, this is nice. And people look out for themselves. Like, again, going back to the tribalism and their tribe before they give a shit. Do you think a Hispanic guy who now has a great job under Trump, and he just got a bonus for he works at UPS, and he just got a bonus because of Trump, because of the corporate tax cut, and he's feeding his family? Do you think he's going to go, yeah, but he hates trannies? I don't care, man. I don't really run into that many trannies in my life, so I'm gonna go with my paycheck, you know?
Yeah.
And by the way, look, kudos to Trump, because he really put the left in a position where now they have to run on open borders and high taxes. Like, wow, he put them fucking back against the wall, because running on raising taxes is not, as Bush Senior, it's not something that works out, you know? Running on we should raise the taxes. I don't care how much of democratic socialist you think you are, when you're telling people that everyone's taxes are going to be raised, and that's what would happen, and tax cuts are going to go away, you're going to lose. You're going to lose, because nobody, at the end of the day, no matter how much of I'm a democratic socialist, man, people want to keep their money.
How?
Yeah,
that's the only thing you need to ask them is how, because they don't have a plan. And congratulations to my mod and really good friend Sicko. He no longer has to steal car stereos because of Trump.
Congratulations. Neither do I. I was actually, you might have seen me. I was in the movie Short Circuit 2. I was in those Lobos kick your butt into outer space. I was stealing radios with those Mexican dudes as well. I wasn't the robot. I was one of the Hispanic dudes in the back.
You're not a robot?
No, I mean, well, you know what? It could be a Westworld thing. I might be, and I don't even know it, dude.
Yeah,
but
right.
I got it, because, man, if I'm a robot, then they fucking set the constipation meter high on me. I'm a robot with fucking borderline anxiety and depression and IBS. I am a fucked up model.
Yeah, dude. Hold on.
Yeah.
Do you have the brain thing? Are you going to start transitioning?
It doesn't look like anything at all to me.
You're not going to transition?
Yeah. Oh man, no, I'm not a synth. You guys play too much Fallout, and they got me playing. I've been replaying Fallout 4 now.
Oh yeah, so have I.
It's, you know, and look, we're just a quick tangent. A lot of people saying, I might agree with them, the New Vegas is the best Fallout game. It's up there. It's really good. I don't know, man. I'm digging Fallout. I really dig Fallout 4, and I have it on the Xbox, and I got all the mods and stuff, and I'm having a good time out there. You know, I don't know. I just think, I know I'm lying to myself, but I would like to think that I could survive in a post-apocalyptic situation. You know,
you're gonna go find your workbench and build some weapons.
Yeah, honestly, what I would do is probably shit my pants and die in a bathtub. I'd be one of those skeletons you find.
You're gonna find a 3D printer.
Yeah. Oh God! By the way, I love that. I'm so glad you brought that up. The 3D printer bullshit. It's like, oh well, don't worry about it, folks. We've made 3D printing those models illegal. This stuff's been on the internet since January. Like, do you understand? Everybody who's going to has it, and if not, there's like 53 archives up there. And by the way, some of the people that are even sharing these don't even have 3D printers or even give a shit about guns. Just nobody wants to be told what to do. You know, I believe like somebody's sharing all of them, and I love it, of the pictures of the 3D printer guns on Facebook, and it just says become ungovernable. And it's like, I love that. It's like, yeah, you're right. Because at first I was even talking to Mike about it. I'm like, I don't know, man. You know, I don't think everybody should just have access to guns. But then all I have to do is listen to a leftist for about 5 minutes. I'm like, guns for everyone. Everyone gets a gun. I want everyone to have one. I'll live in the fucking Wild West. It's fine with me. But I better that than, you know, well, you can't 3D print a gun. I'll do whatever the fuck I want. Like, I do what I feel like. And I'm you know, it's because I thought for a second when I'm like, you know, man, maybe people should be able to 3D print guns. It's really dangerous. And I'm like, wait a second. I'm falling for this whole thing, which is every time with the left, with everything, the LGBT movement, it's every time you give them an inch, just an inch, they take a mile. Like, it's like, you know, I remember not even 5 years ago, it was like, you know, gays just, I was the first one. And I still do agree with this. It's like, gays should be allowed to get married. It's like, they should. Yeah, let them get married. I don't give a fuck. Let them get married. Let them blow each other all they want. I don't give a shit. I just have a couple rules. Don't do it in front of fucking kids. You know, whether you're gay or straight, keep your penis in your pants, you know?
Yep.
I'm really simple. But then they took it from that. I think what happened with the whole gays getting married thing is they got that right so fast. Like, from when, you know, really from when they started pushing for it to when they got it, compared to other movements, for example, that have happened in this country, like the civil rights movement took years and years, you know? Oh. And with the gay thing, it was like, it was just, you know, have you ever argued with a gay person? You're just like, all right, fine, just shut up. That's what happened. This country was like, all right, get married. If you could get married, will you shut the fuck up about it? And then they could get married, and then it's like, well, it's not enough. We also want to be able to have the government pay for when we chop our dicks off. I'm like, oh, hold on, wait a second. I'm fine with the you guys getting married thing, but nobody told me that this was gonna. Because when people were saying this is gonna lead to dogs marrying cats, I was like, you're crazy. But honestly, if you guys get this dick cutting thing, that's next. Like, what else do you want? It's do what you want, but you know, I mean, you see these pride parades, and you're fucking out there in front of kids, man.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I don't like. And me and Sicko, my mod, really know each other in real life and hang out and stuff. And we were talking about that, and it's like, okay, if that was a normal dude walking down the street and there were cops present, his ass would get arrested super fast for indecent exposure and some shit with kids.
Yep.
But
there's people that are sex offenders because they peed too close to a school.
Yeah.
You know,
like late at night when no one's around and they just are, you know, out drinking, or even on the side of the fucking road and driving. Let's say you're just driving cross country and you piss next to a school.
Yep.
You can get fucked.
Oh yeah, no, they'll end you, dude. It's not a joke. And it's like, you know, then you see these parades, and we played the video on our show of the 9-year-old twerking. It's like, dude, come on, man. Like,
that little tranny kid or a drag kid who's
is amazing.
Ketamine.
Yeah. Oh God, dude, that was just. You're telling me that again? By the way, if there was a bunch of straight people out there with their dicks out and tits out in front of kids, I'd be just as angry. But that doesn't happen as much. There's not, you know what I mean? That's not.
No, they get arrested.
Yeah, they would get arrested, and it's like, well, you don't want to be a bigot, so I'm gonna have my dick out in front of your kid, or you're a bigot. I'm like, well, you know what? I'll be a bigot. I'll take the bigot. I would rather be a bigot than whatever you're doing, you know. And it's like, again, I have a bunch of gay friends too. But I call them my normie gay friends, you know, the ones that will tell me like, oh my God, this guy's so embarrassing. He always dresses like a fucking parrot exploded on him. And he's acting like an idiot. And he's always like, yes, like Queen. And this guy's like, look, I like sucking dick, but I go to work, you know, like I don't. And it's you know, to me, what bothers me isn't even blowing a dude. Blow a dude. I don't give a fuck. Like that doesn't bother me. What bothers me is the theatrics of it all. It's like, yes, oh girl, sorry, sweaty. It's like, all right, man. Like, come on, dude. What are you doing? What are you fucking? I get it. Your dad didn't hug you a lot, but now you're gonna fucking overreact and it's everything's so crazy. That we talk about it in the show. Everyone's a fucking Roger character from American Dad. It's like, enough. Fucking Liberace out there. It's like, dude, come on, man. You have to go to work too, don't you? When you're at your job, when your boss asks you, hey, I need that TPS report, you go, you got it, girlfriend. No, you go, here you go. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. I'm gonna make some coffee. You don't sit there and just, I don't know, man. It's I think it's the gay community becomes like this huge game of one-upsmanship. You know, it's like, well, I could be crazier than you. Well, guess what? I'm even crazier. I hang out with a 9-year-old tranny. That's how crazy I am. It's a weird sadistic game of gay horse. you know?
Yeah, what's GAY? The faster you get to the end, the better, you know.
Yeah, it's like, you know, HIV. No, see,
oh shit,
like that. Oh no, they're gonna take Guardians of the Galaxy away from me.
Yeah, right. No, but I mean, I guess you can make that joke. As sad as that disease is, you can make that joke because there's billboards about it all over California.
It's first off, listen, if it was the 80s, I would agree with you how sad it is. But let's be honest. In 2018,
no one types from the HIV.
They have, dude, you could live to 80 years old now with it because they have figured it. Might not have cured it, but they've come as fucking close as possible to it. You know, I always point out Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson's the only dude who's got HIV in the 90s that's gained weight. Like, he gained weight. And it's like, you know, they know how to take care of it now. Where it really sucks is places like Africa and shit, you know, or Haiti, where they don't have access to the same medicine or the same doctors. But over here, dude, and that's the other thing too. You can even take PrEP now if you're in the gay community and really not get HIV. Like, you have to be trying really hard to get it. It's, you know what I mean? Like, you have
the whole cast of Rent's still alive.
Yeah, that's why. I wish it was 300 seconds and that's it. That song should have been 300 seconds and they die after it. And not because they're gay, but because that show is terrible. That fucking show is fucking dog shit.
So Royce, you're coming out as anti-Rent, huh?
I am 100% cancel Rent. Cancel Rent.
It's already canceled. I think it's ran its 12 years and it's gone.
All right, then just cancel gay people.
Oh shit.
Rent is canceled.
What about the Birdcage, dude? Come on, man.
Birdcage is great, but you know why the Birdcage is great? Half the people, well, almost all the people that are gay in that movie aren't actually gay. Robin Williams isn't gay. Hank Azaria wasn't gay. You know, Nathan Lane is gay. But to be honest, they give you Nathan Lane. Nathan Lane's a gay dude. But it's like, you can't make that movie. Do you think you can make the Birdcage now? Do you think you can make a movie now where they play over the top, straight guys play over the top gay dudes?
Oh no, look at Scarlett Johansson.
Oh fuck that bullshit. That movie where it's like, oh, we're gonna get Scarlett Johansson to play a trans man or whatever she was gonna be, something like that. And the entire trans community, all 5 of them, got up in arms. And it's like
5 of them who speak for the whole trans community were up in arms.
So, but no, my point is, it's like, you're a movie studio. Your job is to make money. And obviously you'd rather get somebody like Scarlett Johansson, who is a name, to sell the movie. And then they could use a trans actress. Okay, cool. Name 3 of them. And they don't even know them without Googling it. Like, oh, the woman from Orange is the New Black. Okay, who else? Huh? Chaz Bono? Like, who are you going to get? Like,
no, dude, they want what's her name to play the role? Bruce Jenner.
But not an actor.
Yeah, I mean, he puts up with the Kardashians.
You know what? He's also not a woman either. Like, so no, but it's you know, it's like, and she, of course, she gave in and she dropped out, and it's like, now this movie, no one's going to watch it. Like, do you understand?
Well, I don't even know if it's going to be made.
It'll be made, but with the Scarlett Johansson thing, you were appealing to 70% of the country because she's a name and everybody know who she is. Oh, I'm going to watch that Scarlett Johansson movie. I like her. She's a good actress. And now you're going to get a trans actress and appeal to 0.4% of the country. It's like, you're supposed to make money, you know. And some people, I had an argument with some fucking leftists, and they were like, well, you know, it's the same thing as having a white guy play a black guy. And it's like, well, wait a second. I was told if I complained when a black character played a white character, I was racist and I should worry about the best actor for the role. But now when they're getting the best actress for the role, now it's a problem because it's not the one you want. Again, hypocrisy. That's what it is. Look, perfect example. They got Idris Elba to play what's his face in the Thor movie. Okay. Now, if you know anything about Thor, all those dudes are white because they're Nordic. However, I like Idris Elba. I thought he played the role. I'm not somebody that complained about it. I don't care because they got the best actor, right? Well, another great one. I watch Preacher. That's another TV. I love Preacher.
Yeah, good show, dude.
It's good. And if you read the graphic novels, Tulip is supposed to be white. However, the chick who plays Tulip is fucking fantastic. She's half black, half Irish, half Ethiopian, half Irish. I looked her up. the girl who plays Tulip in Preacher. She's fucking great. So I'm fine. I'm fine with Idris Elba as James Bond. I'm not ethno-state guy. He's British, right? Like, he's still British guy. Do it. But then when I go, I'm fine with Scarlett Johansson playing a trans, you bigot. How dare you? It's like, well, wait a second. You guys were the ones that said it doesn't matter the skin color as long as they're a good actor, right? So now because she doesn't have a penis, she's not allowed. Do you understand that we have moved from what it used to be? We need to give women more time on the screen. Women have completely been bypassed now. Now it's like, fuck you, women. We need trannies. Why? Why do we need them? Why? Because they say we need fair representation. If you wanted fair representation, you would see a tranny once every 10 years because you're 4.4% of the population. The way that they're represented on TV is not indicative of what they are in society. You know what I mean?
No.
So it's like, you don't want fairness. You want an agenda. You want to have little girls watching Supergirl, which should be, an empowered woman. Instead, now going, Mommy, why does that girl have an Adam's apple? Then you have that conversation with them. It's like nobody.
Well, and them getting outraged. Okay, Danny Rand, white character.
I hated that show.
I liked it, but white character in the comic books played by a white man, and people are outraged because they didn't get an Asian person to play it.
By the way, everybody else in that show is fucking Asian, so they could fuck off. But yeah, the whole point, the thing is, if you read Iron Fist, the whole point of Danny Rand is that he's a white guy. Like, that's the point. He's this white dude who put himself in, who dove into a different culture. You know, back then that was being respectful of it. You know, it was like, it was like undertaking another culture. And now it was how dare you? Because Danny Rand, it was not Danny Rand, it's Danny Rand. You know?
I mean, some people might have called him that.
Yeah, well, Asian people probably, but it's like, but I didn't like the show just because, I don't know, man. I tried to watch that show and it's like, we get it. It's the hand. Take a shot every time Danny Rand mentions the hand. You'll fucking be hammered. It's just, by the way, I liked Danny Rand when he was on Luke Cage.
The new one? Oh, yeah, because he's not a little pussy anymore.
That's why I liked it, because it reminded me of the comic book, because that's where they're from, Heroes for Hire. It was really funny. They work really well together. And and I like Luke Cage, by the way, because I know that people say, oh, the virtues, they do a couple things. But to be honest with you, look, the fact that Marvel had the balls to make a TV show where they drop the N-bomb to each other all the time, I'll give them credit, Yeah. It's at least it's realistic. It's not, it's not TV black people. Come on, my brother. It's the way like The Wire. And again, maybe I like the show because every single person from The Wire has been on that show now.
Yeah, and also for the simple fact, like with Danny Rand, is I think in season 2 he won't be as much of a pussy because he finally has found his center, Yeah, and he's not just trying to be about Kunlun and all that shit. So I think they'll develop the character in that manner, and that's nice because I liked the Luke Cage version where he was confident and a badass versus the little pussy you see in the crossover Defenders episode, Defenders season.
Oh God, I rewatched it, and my favorite out of all the Marvel Netflix TV shows is Punisher. I rewatched it. It's my favorite.
Punisher's great, but I still love Daredevil, man. That was
Daredevil. I would say for me, I'll break it down. Punisher's number 1. The first season of Jessica Jones is number 2 because they had the best bad guy in the Marvel universe.
Oh yeah.
David Tennant as Purple Man was fucking fantastic. Then Daredevil I like because, again, the first season of Daredevil with Vincent D'Onofrio, that guy is such a good actor. He's a fucking beast. As Pink Kingpin, he was really, really good. But I liked Punisher because I rewatched it and it was brutal, and it wasn't this SJW bullshit. I mean, it was guns after guns after guns after fucking guns, and it was very gritty, and I really did enjoy it.
Well, and that's why I really like the revamp of Karate Kid, Cobra Kai. Did you watch that?
Oh my God, Mike and I sat there and binge watched the whole thing. That show was fucking amazing. It was nostalgic. It was hilarious. It was funny. It wasn't filled with SJW. The bullies were the good guys in this. I loved everything about that show. It reminded me a little bit of Eastbound and Down meets Karate Kid.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. And the fact that he calls it out and he's like, go kick that pussy's ass after that kid gives that emotional speech about how he won it the year before. And it's just like they put up this social justice situation, and then Johnny's just like, come on, you fucking pussy. Just calling it out. It was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, I thought that show was, man, I can't believe it was a fucking YouTube exclusive, because that thing is really, really good. Ralph Macchio was great in it. Like, I mean, the whole show was really, really well done. I mean, I laughed. It was really good plot. I mean, I really fucking love that show. And by the way, Johnny wasn't the bad guy of Karate Kid. Johnny was the good guy, because Ralph Macchio used an illegal kick to the head. He shouldn't have won.
Yeah, I actually do agree with that. Also, he kind of was a asshole throughout it. So they both had their flaws. And I think if they could like spin it where they both come to realization that they're both fucked up people.
Oh yeah.
And that's what they were aiming at with Cobra Kai. And I think that's what season 2 will do, because they're reintroducing if you haven't watched it and you're in the room, sorry, yeah, I'm going to spoil it, but they're reintroducing his old mentor, Johnny's mentor.
Yep. Oh, so good. I don't know. Do you ever watch Mystery Science Theater?
A long time ago. I haven't watched anything recent or they're doing something new now, right?
Well, I would recommend this. It's called Riff Tracks. They do it. And basically the original dudes from Mystery Science Theater, they do like current movies.
Oh, nice.
You could buy the Riff Tracks like they're 99 cents or $1.99. They're cheap. And then you just sync them up to the movie you're watching. If you can, watch the Karate Kid 3 with the Riff Tracks. It is one of the funniest things you'll ever watch. Like, I'm into that stuff. Like, I mean, I'm Mr. Stay up till 3 a.m. watching Mystery Science Theater, because, like, again, I'm a nerd, and I really didn't. I enjoy that kind of nerdy shit.
Yeah, I dig the YouTube show, the Honest Trailer and stuff like that. That stuff is really funny to me, because they take a shit on. They give you a unpopular opinion about the movie or whatever,
Oh yeah, no, it's great. That and CinemaSins. I like CinemaSins too. I'm an old school dude, man. I'll sit there and watch me some Angry Video Game Nerd all day. I mean, I like watching that stuff.
Yeah.
I like watching OSW review, like them reviewing old wrestling stuff. Again, I know I probably sound like a fucking 30-year-old boomer, but
dude, when the fuck are we supposed to do? We were supposed to do that.
I know we got to do a
wrestling show.
We're gonna work it out. We'll talk after. We'll make it happen. I am down to do an old school wrestling show. That'll be fun.
Yeah, we could do. It'd be fun to do one like once a week or something. Like do an actual channel dedicated to wrestling and bring back like old wrestling stuff, and even because dude, honestly, man, oh man, I miss the Attitude Era so bad.
Yeah, I mean, you and everybody. Now it's this fucking SJW goddamn horseshit too. Now they're gonna have an all-woman. They're gonna have all-woman pay-per-view called Evolution, which means no one's gonna watch it. No one fucking.
Which won't be allowed in Saudi Arabia, just like.
God, that was fucking hilarious. Oh yeah, no, not one woman there though, because their culture's so enriched. Sorry, folks, some places are culturally incompatible. I fucking hate to break it to you, but some places are culturally incompatible and shouldn't be together.
No, and I mean, granted, they're making their strides. Women can finally drive, sort of.
Congratulate! You can't have clits, but you could drive. Congratulations! Get the fuck out of here. Those places, man. I mean,
are they still half a person over there?
Yeah, no, half. Not even a third. Dude, everything over there. Again, it's like, don't overgeneralize. All right, I'm not, but they're throwing gays off a roof. Am I allowed to mention that? Or it's like, sure, I'll make fun of trannies and dudes in dresses, but I'm not chucking them off of buildings. Like, come on.
Yeah. Well, that's what I don't understand either, is why the left, the progressives, are so quick to defend them when they were just defending gay people and trans people and all this other shit. But, radical Muslims tossing gays off roofs. Oh, that's just their culture. It's okay. It's their culture.
Again, I said that they're trying to push these things that are together. Like, it's like, oh yeah, I saw fucking a parade that was, gays for Muslims. And I'm like, do you understand that if you were even to walk near some of them, they would fucking kill you. Like, are you really? And not because of anything, but because that's what they're taught. Like, you know, do you understand that I'm trying to remember who was the one that said it, but it might have been Sam Harris. But it's a really good point. It's like all the religions, all the atheists give all these religions shits and give these religions shit. But it's like the difference between, you know, for all their flaws, Jews, and for all their flaws, Christians, and then Muslims. It's like Judaism and Christianity had a cultural awakening.
Yeah.
Islam has never had one. And that's the truth. That's not racist. That's just the truth. Like, they haven't changed. They are still doing the same things, and of course not all over the world, you know. But and people go, "You're not American Muslims." Okay, unless you go to Dearborn, Michigan, where a doctor was just caught circumcising female babies. Like, look, I'm sorry, but I always say this. Like, we're Cuban. My grandparents and my mom and my dad, my dad was born here, but his parents came from Cuba, and my mom was born in Cuba, and her parents were born there too. And it's like, you know, I've always taught, like my grandfather, you know, Cubans tend to be conservatives when they come over here because they live in a socialist country and they saw how bad.
Yeah.
You know, my grandfather's not one to walk around with a Cuban flag. He'll have an American flag, you know. Huge Trump supporter, Hispanic guy, but, you know, speaks broken English, but they try to integrate it. They're not trying to bring why they left a shitty country and then bring it over here and make this country shitty, you know? That's why I don't understand, like, all the people that are like, you know, for Mexicans, they just want to come here because it's tough. All right, cool. Then why do they keep flying the goddamn Mexican flag? Like, if it was so shitty over there that you have to come over here, what do you miss about it then, you know? If you go over there, you're literally going to get killed. You're an American now. Fucking be an American. You know, I'll say this. I speak Spanish. Spanish was my first language, actually, because I'm from South Florida. So, I mean, Spanish is a lot of kids' first language. But, excuse me, no, in South Florida, we a spick. Beaners are if you're Mexican. But common confusion. Spanish is my first language, but I get mad if I walk into a place and they look at me and start speaking Spanish instead of English. I'm like, no. I didn't speak to you Spanish, guy at Burger King. You speak to me English. Fuck me. Like, I know that a lot of you self-hating. I'm not self-hating, but I want to be spoken to in English. Thank you very much. And, you know, obviously I'm not a hard ass, but it's like, I'd rather, you know, don't try. I only ask that you try. I respect a Spanish guy who comes here who speaks broken English more than somebody who doesn't, because at least they're trying. You know, it's like I respect a fucking 400-pound guy who's on a treadmill versus a 400-pound guy who's, you know, sitting at home eating bonbons. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
One is trying and the other one isn't trying. You know, all I ask for is that you fucking try to integrate. And I'm not saying stop making your delicious food. Make your food. No one's telling you not that. But at some point, you know, Islam is the guiltiest, and I don't think Islam's the most guilty of it, but I think Islam is the most prevalent because it's like it's so different. Their culture's so different. Like it's really, in some places barbaric. Barbaric. Yeah. You know, it is. And I'm not saying every Muslim's a barbarian. No, I'm saying, but some parts of the country, it's barbaric. Like, I'm sorry, but if you're cutting women's clits off, that's barbarism, you know?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Barbaric. And that's barbaric behavior, and that's what it should be called. And it's like, you're not going to tell me that, oh, well, they didn't know because of their culture. And it's like, no. That's why we have borders, and that's why we vet people when they come into the country. So we could figure out, it's like, hey, we're not letting in crazy people into the country that are going to come here. And look, I went to dinner the other night. This is perfect example. I went to dinner the other night. My parents were in town. They were visiting, and I went to dinner with my parents and my wife. And we were eating dinner, and we were leaving. There was a table, a Middle Eastern family, and there was a Middle Eastern man sitting at it was one of those round booths, sitting at the end of the booth, and next to him was his wife. And his wife was, I mean, I'm talking the face covered, everything. I'm not talking just hair. I'm talking the whole face covered, the whole fucking Islam getup, you know? If like basically, if this was Skyrim, she would be a high-ranking mage. Her face is covered and her head is covered, and she's sitting there lifting her thing and eating, the food underneath it. They're with all their kids, and as soon as we leave and we walk out, my mom says to me, she goes, "You know what I fucking hate?" And I'm like, "What?" She goes, "I hate the fact that they sit there and their women have to be covered up like that and all that. But then when your wife walked by, the guy just stared at my wife's ass and just like checked her out top to bottom." And it's like, well, wait a second. You make your wife fucking dress like I don't know, like a trash bag, and then you're gonna sit here and look at other people. But fuck you, dude. Like, that's what bothers me. You know how many times I'm in Orlando, so you know how many times we get a lot of tourists here. You'll be walking in a mall or someplace or outdoors when it's like 100 degrees here, and you'll see like the fucking Pakistani guy wearing shorts and a tank top, and his wife's walking around head to toe covered. It's like, you're not comfortable. You don't like that, and it's like, that's why, like the Linda Saussure, the
fucking Looney Tune.
Yeah, she's fucking crazy. And it's like, really, women? You want somebody whose culture teaches her she can't show off her hair and have to be obedient to her husband to run your movement? Isn't that what you guys fought against?
Nah, dude, I'm pro-Islam now because of that, dude. Respect women. I respect women so much.
Yeah, respect them right on their face. That's what they do over there. It's like it's gross. It's fucking, it's gross, and they smell, because I'm sorry, no matter how much you try to stay clean, you're gonna sweat in that thing and you're gonna smell. And it's this forced. No, man, everyone's the same, man. Dude, go fuck yourself. I can't. It becomes enraging to me. It's like I say, it's like, man, I was a Ron Paul libertarian. A lot of people don't know that. I voted for, I know you can laugh at me, I voted for Gary Johnson. I voted for Gary Johnson. I did. I'm going to vote for Trump in 2020 because honestly, a lot of the stuff Trump's done has been right up my alley. The tax rate, stuff like that. Like he's been more libertarian than any president I could remember. Seriously. Well, you guys are small business, right? Yes. Yeah. So you're what are you, 1099 or something? No, we are LLC. We are an LLC. So then, yeah, I mean, of course. And that's the mindset that people need to understand is you vote for things that actually benefit you. Why in the fuck would you, these other people need social programs? Fuck those other people. I care about me first. Those people can have their social programs, but I'm going to do what's best for me first. No, exactly. That's what I was talking about earlier. People do what's best for them. Trolita goes, we're making Royce fash. It's like, yeah, the thing is that I said this, as I always tell people, it's like, they keep pushing me further and further. Like, you become more and more right wing because you're like, enough. It's like, because it starts off with, look, I'll talk it out with you. Let's meet somewhere in the middle. But then it's like the moment that fucking first language Spanish dude was when they started calling me a Nazi, I'm like, well, what? Are you fucking all right? Well, at some point, and people don't realize this, if you call somebody a Nazi long enough, they start acting like a Nazi because they're gonna get their goddamn money's worth. It's like now, once this course is gone, it's like, well, fuck you then. Yeah, I'll be whatever you want me to be. I don't give a shit, but take your dick out of my kid's face. Like, I don't care what you call me, Yeah. I'll goose step right over to you and fucking punch you in the face. Get away from my kid. You know what I mean? Like, that's where people start going. Because at the end of the day, people could deal very easily with putting labels on them, but what they can't deal with is people messing with their family, people telling them what to do, people telling them what jokes are allowed, people telling them, I saw an article, and I'm pretty sure you saw it too, where it said, is it okay to laugh at the Animal House in the current climate? Oh, God. Yeah. Come on. It's like, yeah, it is okay. You want to know why? Because it's funny. These fucking people, they come up and they think that they have look, and I know I sound like an old man, but this is what always happens. Like, the younger generation comes in and they're always like, well, we know what's right, man. Like, we figured it out. I'm a lesbian dance major. I know what I'm talking about. I'm woman rights activist. Okay, so you're unemployed. When you're an activist, it means you're unemployed. Yeah, no shit.
you're sitting at home, figuring out ways to get out of the house. You're not actually, doing anything.
Yeah, no, Carlito's right. They pissed off libertarians. They fucked up, and that's what they did. You pissed because the current Libertarian Party is a goddamn joke. Like, there's no real libertarian. The moment that they didn't invite Ron Paul to the Libertarian Conference,
yeah, that was stupid.
A lot of you, I don't care. And you know what I think is going to happen? I think it's going to be hilarious after the midterm elections is what I'm predicting, but before the 2020 elections, because Trump's already signaled to ending the federal ban on marijuana. Like he's talking, he's good friends with the Colorado governor and the money that it's made. And by the way, Trump is a New York dude. That shit he's a teetotaler. He doesn't drink or do drugs, but he doesn't give a fuck. And I think what's going to be funny is the first president that's going to lift the federal ban of marijuana is going to be Donald Trump. And the left is going to lose their fucking minds. They're going to lose their, because all of it's been it's just a plant, man. And Trump's going to like, yeah, okay, yeah, it's just a plant. I don't care. Get high. Just vote for me. And then what's going to happen? It's going to be yeah, I don't care. You know what? Yeah, make weed legal. I don't give a shit. As long as there's no Mexicans in here. Oh, if we make weed legal, the Mexicans are going to stop bringing it in here. Sounds great to me. Good plan. You know? That's what's going to happen because nobody really cares. And what's going to happen is Trump is the first president, and nobody ever, because if this would have been a liberal president, if this would have been Hillary, if this would have been Obama, if this would have been fucking Bernie Sanders, that was the first president to be elected into office to be for gay marriage before being elected. He's the first president to go into office that was for gay marriage. Trump's been for gay marriage for years, like always. Yeah. He's always been. And imagine if it would have been any sort of other leftist that would have won. If the article on HuffPo and BuzzFeed is like the first president to be pro-gay marriage, but since it's Trump, it's like he hates gay people. Okay, and then I always tell people, they go, tell me an instance where Trump has done something to harm a gay person. Because as far as I know, up until 2006, Trump was a New York liberal. And I hate to break it to you, but you can't work in New York without hanging out with a bunch of gays, a bunch of blacks, and a bunch of Hispanics, because it's New York. You know? Yeah,
it's massively multicultural. And Reddy Roosevelt, boycott weed will be the 2020 slogan of the Liberal Party.
I'm telling you, dude, if he does that, the trifecta, because then they're going to have to run on making weed illegal, raising taxes, and open borders. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? I don't care who you are. Can you imagine trying to sell that to the public? Like, they'll be like, wait, what? Did you just say weed and then also raise my taxes? It's not. It would never work. You know, Trillio's right. Trump is an old school Democrat. He's a New York liberal, and honestly, a New York liberal nowadays would be considered a moderate Republican. Seriously, like that's how far we've shifted. You know, that is really how far we've shifted. You know, and it's I don't know, man. It really is kind of. It's great having Trump in here, but I think that, you know, I always tell people you can't let your guard down, man, because again, this little mirror, this little experiment that's going on could change at any moment. And dude, can you imagine? Like, I was just thinking about this the other day. It's like, forget Hillary winning, because a lot of people are like, hey, Hillary did. Imagine if Hillary would have won, it would have been fucking terrible. By the way, if Hillary would have won, we would be fighting 3 wars right now.
Yeah, no shit.
Mark my words. We would have been fighting 3 wars right now if Hillary had won. Our taxes would have gone up if Hillary had won. But think about this. Had the DNC not rigged it, and let's say Bernie would have won, the election, holy shit, we would be ruined. This country would be on the road to disaster. Because, again, you have to remember, Bernie's the one that said Venezuela's a place where people could find the American dream. And now, look, they're fucking eating fucking dogs and shit on the street, and their money is worth less than World of Warcraft gold, you know?
Yeah, I had someone on a stream not too long ago. It was probably about a couple months ago, and we were talking about how we should all go buy land on beachfront properties in Venezuela for if they ever come out of socialism, and just hold the deeds on the land, because, dude, for like $80,000 American, you can buy what would equate to probably like a $3 million home in the US.
Oh yeah.
Just hanging out on the beach.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Look, here's what's going to look, listen. I already have a solution for Venezuela, and it's a simple one. We conquer it and colonize it. I'm telling you, it's worked in the past. Let's just conquer it. Let's go there and let's go, listen, we're going to take you over, and within a month, you'll have McDonald's. You'll have a grocery store. You want to be like Guam? Guam's doing fine. They have all the benefits of the U.S. Be Guam. Like, you know.
Or Puerto Rico before the.
Yeah, before. But fuck them, by the way. I have a fucking, and I know it's not just some Cuban, but I have my own things about Puerto Rico. It's like, as long as I can remember, Puerto Rico, people have been like, all right, well, why don't you just become a state? Like, no, we don't want to become a state. We want to be our own thing. But also give us $26 billion a year. We give Puerto Rico 26 billion with a B dollars a year. And now you have mayors and elected officials getting arrested for laundering the money. They're getting arrested. You know who's under investigation? The mayor of San Juan's under investigation for fraud. The same one that was nasty
talking shit about Trump.
Yeah. You want to know why when a storm goes through Florida, for example, a hurricane goes through Florida, and then a hurricane goes through Puerto Rico. You want to know what the difference is? The difference is that since Florida is built to handle it, because, you know, you learn from your mistakes. Here's what happened in Puerto Rico. Many of the homes, because everyone's so corrupt there, were not up to building code. They were built on places they shouldn't have been built in, because everyone's so corrupt, and you could pay everybody off, and that's why they got destroyed. That's really why they got nobody. Everyone wants to think it's because storms aren't racist, folks. I hate to break it to you, but hurricanes don't give a shit who they kill. You know what I mean? And it's not Trump's fault. You know, why didn't he send aid? We did send aid. I remember the day after the hurricane, the truckers in Puerto Rico were striking and asking for more money to go out there and help people. That's a real thing that really happened.
Jesus.
And, yeah, no, they were not. They were saying they wanted extra money instead of, you know, what was going on in Houston, for example, where people with trucks driving out there and helping people out of their homes, you know, people going on their boats and helping people. Over there was like, oh, we need more money. Well, we'll go out there, but if you pay us. And then they don't get power, and they go, Puerto Rico's been without power. And then they blame Trump. The reason Puerto Rico doesn't have power is because they gave a fake contract to this other company to embezzle money, this other power company that only had one employee. It wasn't even real.
Jesus.
So this is true. Some people are brought up on charges because of it. And then their own power company, they had to we had to bring in Florida Power and Light and all these companies to try to give them power, because their power company was so corrupt. All the money that they were getting, they weren't using it for equipment and stuff. They were just keeping it and embezzling it. And it's like, yeah, because and then it's like, listen, you want it, like, become a fucking state. You don't get to get $26 billion and then also keep your flag. You could have one or you could have the other. Take your $26 billion, but then that flag's going to, I tell you what, you could have your flag underneath the American flag. How about that? I'll meet you in the middle. You could have your flag underneath it, and like you could treat your flag like a POW flag.
Has to be displayed next to an American flag,
right? And it's like, but this fucking horse shit, man. Now get out of here with them. And I'm sick of hearing the poor Puerto Rico. No, not poor Puerto Rico. Poor us for having to put up with Puerto Rico, because we give them a lot of, dude, per capita. If you could tell, I've become obsessed with this. Per capita, Puerto Rico, per capita, mind you, not in total, but per capita, Puerto Rico has the highest rate of welfare. Like,
really?
Yeah, per capita. Obviously, you know, if you know, New York's going to have more comparatively because it's bigger, or Florida.
California.
Yeah, but per capita, it has the highest rate of welfare. And you know what else it has? The highest rate of welfare fraud. And again, they go, we don't get to vote for president. Thank fucking God. But they don't, and if they did, their electoral vote, we won. But you know, they don't get to vote for president, but they do get to get all the same programs that everybody in America gets: the welfare program, food stamps, you know, but medical assistance, Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, they get all the same benefits, you know. And honestly, I was talking to someone the other day and I go, you know what we need Puerto Rico for? The military. Because if you look at the military, there's a lot of Puerto Ricans in the military.
Oh, but yeah.
It's a lot. And see, what's happening is I'm in Florida. This is what scares me is a lot of people have moved from Puerto Rico to Central Florida or to Florida because there's just a lot, and it's going to change the it's going to change the voting in the state because Puerto Ricans aren't Cubans. They vote because, like I said, because of the welfare thing, they end up almost exclusively voting for Democrats.
Yeah, exactly. And, well, in it's always going to lean that way with them. So weird. I didn't know this. The highest, you know what the highest state, obviously probably per capita and everything else is in the U.S.?
What?
North Dakota.
For what? Welfare?
For federal assistance received.
I believe it. I believe that. Yeah, I get it. I mean, poor North Dakota, man. Nobody ever visits them. Like they're up there, and I mean, you know. And by the way, from all intents and purposes, people up there, people in North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, they're all so nice. They really are. Oh
yeah, they are.
They're the most polite people. I went to go visit my friends up in Minnesota once, and I'm from Florida, so I'm not used to this shit. But I'm walking up there, and we were just going for a walk, and this lady walks up to us, and she starts talking to us about what a nice day it is, and everything is great. And I'm like, what's she want? What the fuck does this bitch want? Because I'm not used to people just being nice, you know? I'm gonna be like, what the fuck do you want? Get the fuck out of my face! Like, you know? Because that's how everyone is. You get more standoffish, but over there, everyone's just genuinely nice.
Yeah, and it's and it's smaller states or the forgotten states. People tend to be more relaxed. You know, the middle of the country, north middle, tend to be very chill. I mean, until you get to Detroit, but you know,
fucking RoboCop land there. But
Chicago,
dude, that fucking. Oh, but again, it's like places like that, man. Had Hillary campaigned in Wisconsin, we might be living in a different country right now, man. Think about that. All she had to do was campaign a cup, but again, all these people in the middle of the country are dumb hillbilly rednecks. And it's like, all right, man, you keep doing that to people are going to start getting pissed. You know, the moment when you start telling somebody in North Dakota, a white dude who works on a goddamn oil rig, telling you that you're privileged, you get the fuck out of here. Like, you know, they keep pushing this. You're white, you're privileged. Oh, really? Cool. I work in a coal mine. Like, really? I'm going to die at 50, but I'm privileged. Yeah, go fuck yourself. And here's what's happening. The left is doubling down. I mean, they are doubling down. They're not backing off. They are doubling down. And then Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez from New York, that Democratic
God.
She's a cunt. Running, and dumb cunt, by the way. She's a stupid bitch. That her running, and she's the new face of the. Did you see her on the Daily Show?
Oh, she looked like an idiot.
Nobody was laughing. Nobody cared. She has no plan. They gave her like 3 or 4 talking points, and she couldn't get through them. And it's like, you guys are going to double down on this socialism, and it's not going to fucking work. The only good thing about this country. Well, there's a lot of good things about this country, but the only good thing about this country's election system is, unlike places like Venezuela or stuff like that, when you get a fucking socialist, you're stuck with it forever. At least here, man, you try that fucking experiment for 4 years, and once when food lines start and people start making money, you're fucking out of there. Like, again, and I use this example, and I know it's extreme, and of course, I don't obviously agree with the Nazis. I obviously don't. However, there is a reason the Weimar Republic failed. You know what I mean? Because people always say, like, what magical power did Hitler have that he made all of these people become animals? It's like, he didn't have a magical power. He was a good speaker, sure. Absolutely, he was a good speaker. But he didn't have any magical powers. At the end of the day, when you keep telling people their shit and you keep trying to push your shit on the people are gonna go, you know what? I don't know. This guy with the weird mustache ain't terrible. At least I'm allowed to be my own. I'm allowed to be myself. You know, and again,
was that your version of the salute? Hey.
No, I was trying to get a fucking bug out of my face. A little bug. Yeah, you know, it's I don't know, man. It's someone's talking about Stick, Sex, and Hammer in the chat. Yeah, he doesn't like us. That's a whole other fucking. We always said it. Stick, Hex, and Hammer looks like a fucking NPC from Skyrim. Like that's what he looks like, an NPC. Fucking Skyrim. I don't. Whatever.
Well, you guys did call him what, a pedo?
Well, see, that's the thing.
Or what happened with that?
That gets misinterpreted so much. We didn't call him a pedo. We made a joke about rumor that we heard. Neither Mike or I said, this guy's a pedophile. Come on, man. We don't do that shit. We made a joke. And then I thought it was common knowledge. And I brought up, I heard this, this, and this. And Mike said, yeah, we heard this, this, and this. And then immediately we got gangbanged by an entire group of people. And we're like, all right, man, whatever. And we learned our lesson. That's why ever since we're like, this IBS bullshit is bullshit. This internet blood sport shit is all fucking, it's for what? For what? So we all look like guys. So you could ambush Laura Loomer for the 15th time. How many times are we going to do that? How many times are we going to ambush Laura Loomer? How many times are we going to sit there and talk to fucking Paul Nalen about the Jews? Like, what come on. Like, really the same thing over and over again? And I was like, look, you can beat us up if you want. We're comics. We were making jokes. We're not out there trying to change anybody's fucking minds. You know, we don't have some sort of altruistic. Again, I said it at the beginning. I'll say it again. We don't have some altruistic motives. We just want to tell jokes. We want to be funny and then talk politics. That's it. That's all we want. And honestly, people could beat us up. People could do it. We've taken waves of people, Cernovich fans, Gabe Hoffman, Open Secret fans. And at the end of the day, they just become our fans. Like, that's what happens. It always happens. It's like, you can make fun of us all you want, but at the end of the day, you know, we're not going to be sitting here, you know, going, oh, well, Medicare made fun of me. And then, you know, this guy said that. It's like, all right, well, Medicare makes fun of everybody. And it's like, that's what he does. And it's like, again, we've always, when Mike and I talk off the air, it's like, we're playing the long game. And I think some people are playing the short game, you know? We're playing the
fast and you know, look, they burn out fast.
Look at Baked Alaska. Look what happened to him. Like,
oh yeah,
you know, we put time into our show. We don't sit there all the time with text to speech. Mike might do that as Nightwave show, but I mean the ROTC show with text to speech on and have people drop the N-bomb 50 times, and it's like, is that entertaining or what is this? Like, again, that's why our show, we wanted to be able to people who aren't listening live to enjoy a well put together episode of our show. And it's like, you know, you could make fun of us, you could call us what you want, but at the end of the day, we're confident in what we do, you know, and we know we put together a good product. And by the way, because we stand on our principles and because, you know, we could be making more money. I mean, that's the fucking fact. We could.
Oh yeah.
If we were to pander, because people pick their Cernovich panders to the boomers, everyone panders. Like, if we were to start pandering, we don't want to pander. It's like we do the opposite. Mike mentions it. Mersh mentions it sometimes too. Sometimes we turn the wheel hard the opposite way to take the idiots off. You know, it's like, you're gonna knock some of the 1488 people off the bus. You know what I mean? Guy, relax, man. Like, Mersh the other day got fucking unsolicited 1488 message, and it's like, why are you sending me this shit? Like, what does this do? You know, and it's. Again, I think that, of course, you know, with the internet or any medium, you get a bunch of crazy people, but I think people need to understand.
Well, I think some of it's just trolling, dude. Some of these people just like trolling that because the way the internet works or whatever, I guess, and they want to be edgy.
I like trolling, but I like trolling. I like edgelord posting and all that stuff. I like fucking starting shit. We're professional shit stirrers. I like all that stuff. But the problem is, you gotta be witty. Like, you gotta be funny. Like, a lot of people just like, blacks, am I right? I'm like, I guess, but
airline food, right?
Yeah, it's like it's exactly. It's like, have you ever noticed? I'm like, yeah, I know, I get it. The Jews, we got it. Yeah, the Jews. Everything's the Jews. Fucking Christ, man, Jesus Christ. It's like it's be witty, man. Be funny. And that's the same. Like, the right doesn't get that the reason people are so pissed off at the left is like, Trump's hair. Am I right? Huh? Yeah. Trump, his hair, huh? And it's like, well, you know, the left is saying 1488. Am I right? Huh? Am I right? 1488, guys. It's like, all right, but what else though? Like anything else? It just that's it. That's your argument. You must secure that. That's your argument, right? Okay, but what else? Like, what else do you have to add to this conversation? It's the same thing. It's like, oh, Trump, huh? What a dummy he is, huh? It's like, oh God, they're the worst. And again, I've come to the conclusion, because I mean, people shit on the boomers, and I believe that we can live in a world where all boomers ruin the country and all millennials are fucking lazy. I think both things are true. I think
possibly true.
Things are true. You know?
But you're in the millennial.
Yeah, I know. I get it. And I have to fight everything against my power, everything against my millennial power to put on a good show. I have to fight it, you know?
Not be lazy. Yeah, you know, I was running into a wall. If you look at my like content creation, there were times where it was just like nothing for like a week.
Right.
And nothing like, because I have a job, so I go to work every day, but like this is my extracurricular, this is my fun. And then I don't know where I just, well, plus, you know, when you're going through a lot of life shit, it's like, how do I be creative? Why do I want to deal with this shit? I'm tired of the politics.
Yeah, but when it's so easy to sit down and fucking play Fallout, or just be like, oh, I'm just gonna sit here and do this, or, you know, it takes a lot to be self motivated. I get it, and you know, and I know I say all. I mean, obviously not all boomers are terrible, and not all millennials are. There's plenty of them that are really funny and do good stuff. I mean, it's just, you know, I don't really even blame an age bracket or an age group. I think that the worst thing to me is not boomers. It's not millennials. The worst thing to me is hypocrites and communists. And well, they're the same thing, but
yeah,
it's this. Yeah, I could deal with a lot of stuff, but I can't deal with hearing another person talk about democratic socialism. This time it's you know what, it's like new Coke. It's like new socialism, this time with less deaths. And
new socialism, Pepsi Clear.
Yeah, exactly. But I always bring this up. It's like, this is the way I've always brought it up. It's like, whenever people bring up socialism, it's like, oh, well, you know, I always go, well, you know, socialism isn't great. I mean, look what happened in Cuba. Look what happened in Venezuela. Mao. I mean, socialism has killed hundreds of thousands of people. It's killed hundreds of thousands of people. And they go, yeah, that's because socialism wasn't done right. Okay, cool. So then if I were to switch towards socialism and go, yeah, Nazis killed like a lot of people, but that's because it wasn't democratic Nazism. Then people will go, are you insane? Oh, it's like, but you're doing the same thing. It's like adding democratic in front of it doesn't make it any less shitty of a system. And a lot of people don't understand that socialism comes from Marxist theory. It's not a guess. That's where it's from. And of course, Karl Marx himself says socialism is just a conduit to get to communism. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's just a stepping stool into the next step, because the end game of socialism always becomes communism. Always. Because you make people reliant on the government, and there's a reason why all these socialist countries, the leaders of these socialist countries, still live in mansions, you know? If it was real socialism, they would all live in the same little hovel as you live in, you know, and that's not ever the way it works out. Socialism, you gotta
have someone leading the socialist country, and you think they're not going to take advantage of being above everyone else?
Yeah, and that's why, you know, listen, I'm not this like anarcho-capitalist. I'm not this 100%. Like, I could talk to you about social programs. I'm okay with some social programs. I do understand that in some situations, safety nets are needed. I think in those situations, we should weed out people that are taking advantage of it.
Yeah.
I believe that, you know, I believe in immigration, legal immigration. I'm not Mr. like, no more Browns in the, I don't care about that, but do it legally. Do it the way everyone else's family did it that's here legally, you know? But I also believe that, and I'll say this, almost socialism right now has people eating their pets in Venezuela. Almost capitalism invented the Xbox. So I'm going to take the Xbox one. Like, you know what I'm saying? The problem with socialism is, and people never want to talk about this, it kills innovation. Socialism at its core will always kill innovation, because these other countries that Bernie always brings up, it's like, well, look at these countries are using the 1% of the 5% are using the social model, and it seems to be working. Cool. But all those free medicines that they're getting, you know where they were invented? In a capitalist country. The reason that we have all these cures that are coming up, the reason that we have all these drugs that are saving people's lives, the reason people are working on bionic eyes isn't because they're altruistic. It's because they want to make money.
Oh, yeah. They're not doing it because they're geniuses and they want to help save the world.
That's why the iPhone wasn't invented in a socialist country. That's why the internet wasn't invented in a socialist country. That's why nothing of worth has ever come from a socialist country. At the end of the day, nothing of worth ever comes from it because people are driven to be better. And I think when you're driven to create, and even if it's because, you know, a lot of people are like, you conservatives, the only reason conservatives go more to charities because they get a write-off. You're right. That might be 100% true. But do you think the kids getting that charity give a fuck? Like, they're still getting it. And at the end of the day, you know, I think that capitalism has taken more people out of poverty than any other system that's ever been invented, ever in the history of the world. And I always say this, and I think Joe Rogan is the one that said it, but I thought it was a great quote. We're one of the only countries with poor, fat people.
That's true.
Think about that. Like, even the poorest people are eating. They're not starving on the streets. There's fat homeless people. Like, this country, we're getting food. There's aren't people with expanded bellies like in Somalia that haven't eaten in 3 weeks. You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason for that. Because people want to make money. People want to be people. Even if it's for whatever reason, people want to succeed. People want to be better than their neighbor. And that's not always a bad thing. That's motivation. You know, that helps you get up in life. I say that, you know, if the Democrats' new model is this socialism stuff, man, good fucking luck. Good luck, because it might work, because again, and it always looks good on paper, but before you know it, you need the only way socialism works if it's powered by capitalism. That's it.
Well, and that isn't the Euro models that they always bring up, the you know, Nordic countries. It's free market.
Yes.
Socialist programs.
Yeah, people always say it's socialism. No, it's not. That is a country who has a lot of social programs, but they run on a capitalistic free market. It's the Nordic model, which isn't socialism. That's not so. They have, yes, you're right. They have a lot of social programs, but that's not what socialism is. That's a Nordic model. That is something that is completely different. And there was many of those countries that had to open up their markets and drop corporate tax rates because they were fucking. But remember, for a while, that not too long ago, France had a 60% corporate tax rate. You know what 60% is? It's like companies aren't going to listen. I always say this to people. Companies like Google, Facebook. Let's use Google. It's easier. It's altruistic Google. Then they're like, yeah, man, we just want to help the world. Do no evil, man. Google's the best. Cool. Guess what? The moment you raise the taxes too high on Google, they're going to fucking leave. They will. Oh, yeah. They will go to Canada. Their money will start going to Cayman banks, because at the end of the day, all these altruistic companies, the moment you start hitting their pocket, guess fucking what? They're going to move. They are going to move to a country that will allow them, or to a state. Look what's happening. Look at the mass exodus in California. Look how many people are leaving California and going to Texas, going to North Carolina.
Yeah, a lot of people and a lot of businesses are, if you notice, like, and this is a good example, is Hollywood, right? Mm-hmm. Hollywood, I mean, there's still stuff recorded here, and the main offices are here, and so they do editorial and stuff like that, production work. But they're filming in Canada, they're filming in Georgia, they're not filming out here. All those DC shows on CW filmed in Canada,
Toronto, or Vancouver. The DC shows are filmed in
Vancouver. Yeah.
The Marvel shows are filmed in Toronto.
Yeah, and then you have all the Marvel movies are filmed in Georgia.
Oh yeah, no. Because Georgia's they're cutting the corporate tax rate. They have to, and it's again, man, I always have a really like, that's a trigger thing for me, man, is socialism, because it's like I will sit there and argue with you about it all day because I never give in on it. I never give in because you cannot give in to socialism, because socialism is communism, and communism is fucking terrible. It is one of the worst systems that has ever been created. It looks great on paper, but it is never and will never be able to be enacted. I don't care how many Star Treks you come out with. It's never going to be enacted in a way that will work for society, because people are competitive. It's in our DNA. People want to succeed. People want
survival of the fittest. You think that everyone wants to give up their shit? I mean, really, because that's what these moron children who are like, I'm pro socialism. Have you read any of Marx's books? Like, maybe do some research. It leads to communism. And that iPhone you're tweeting on, you don't have it anymore, motherfucker. It's the states. Pass it over.
Exactly. And then that's my point. It's like, you wouldn't have any of these things. And it's like, oh, medical care. Everyone gets how about this? Right now in this country, whether you have insurance or not, you could walk into an ER and they have to help you by law. They cannot kick you out whether you have money or you don't. They have to help you. You might have a bill afterwards, sure, but they have to help you. And I would rather live in a country where some people have to have shitty medical bills, but everyone gets help, but everyone gets, emergency treatment if needed, than give everybody medical care, but the medical care is shitty. And that's what would happen. The medical care would be shitty. It would be shitty. It would not be good. You know what the wait lists are in Canada for things?
For cancer treatment, you might as well just die.
You're better. You know how many people from Canada, even though their healthcare is free, come to America and pay for treatment? I'll pay for it, but I want to live.
Yeah. Because they don't want to wait years or months in line to get their chemo or anything else. Yeah, the small stuff you can get more readily available. But you know what they have for that? They have urgent cares. I don't have insurance. I walked into urgent care. I gave them $50 for my down payment and haven't paid my bill yet. You know why? Because it's fucking outrageous, one, but also because fucking whatever. Fuck it. I'll pay it whenever I can.
You can. And honestly, with that stuff, if you know what you're doing, you could talk them down and get like a $5 a month payment plan and they leave you alone. Really, and then that's the way it works. But and by the way, if you have something really bad, there's private charities that actually do help people. I've seen them. But I heard a story. I think it was Brock Lesnar when he got diverticulitis, and he had to remove like a big section of his intestines, because Brock Lesnar's a dude who hunts and he just eats deer, and he got some sort of bacteria from it. But he was in Canada at the time where he got it, and he said, "Thank God he came to America and got treatment here, because he would have said I would have died there." It's like. And that's how it is. You get on a wait list, and that's what it is. I mean, look, man, my biggest argument about this whole socialized medicine bullshit is England. Look at that. Parents are trying to sneak there were parents a couple times now that have been trying to sneak their children out of the country because the death tribunal decided your kid has to die with dignity. It's like, what's my kid? And if people are willing to pay for it, why can't I go to another country? And they wouldn't do it. And that's what, the moment that you let the government handle medicine, somebody besides you or your family is going to decide at some point whether you live or die. That's the truth. That is the fact that people don't want to deal with. They'll get to a point where somebody's going to go, yeah, but it's going to be really expensive for grandma to get that surgery. Let's give her pills. I mean, so what if she dies 5 years earlier? I care if she dies 5 years earlier. I'd rather pay and give her the thing. I always use this as a perfect example. My grandfather has a Medicaid, obviously. Medicaid, which is when you're older. And he had a heart attack. Maybe 4 years ago, and then my family was they were in New York with him, and they were visiting, and he was 81 at the time, I believe. No, 84 at the time.
Yeah,
and he had a heart attack. And by the way, he's all there. Like he's just all there. He's not like he have a conversation with you. He walks all the time. He swims. He's all there. So he had a heart attack, and he was there, and they were doing all these procedures, and they said, "Look, his heart's bad." Blah 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 blah. And they said, well, we could do something. We could use, this medicine, this injection that actually, you know, might help him. But they said, but Medicaid doesn't cover it. So my parents are like, we'll pay it. How much is it? I don't care. We'll fucking pay it. They paid it. Now he just celebrated his 88th birthday.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing is they want to push us into the Canadian or even the English model. And it's like, okay, one, I don't want to be anything like England right now. Fuck that.
Fuck that shit.
No, fucking when you can't speak out against everyone or anyone, a religion like our country is founded upon being able to speak out against, and Europe was founded on, like, I'll pass. Like, not gonna fucking, we don't need Sharia law here. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna fucking be the UK. Don't fucking use them as an example of a place to be. You want to be in these places. My mindset is, hey, you complain so much about here, but you don't leave. This country is so horrid and there's so many Nazis and so much racism, but you don't leave. Why?
Oh. But again, exactly. It's like if you were to just listen to the left talking, you would think that this country is just filled with bigots, and no, it's not. Again, this is a pretty cool place to live. At the same time, you're saying, oh, these people want a better life here. That's why they come to our country, but also it sucks. Well, wait, no. Well, wait a second. Pick one. Either this place is really awesome, everybody wants to come here, or this place is terrible. I'm sorry, but, you know, in this country, the worst that'll happen is if you're a dude in a dress, someone might laugh at you. Most chances are, unless
you're not getting tossed off a building.
Times out of 10, no one's going to throw you off a building and kill you. Like, people don't care enough. Again, it's the other thing with a capitalist system. People care about themselves. At the end of the day, I'll laugh at an idiot, but at the end of the day, I got to go to work. At the end of the day, I got to do my money. I got my own shit to do. Like, I got my own shit to do. I don't have time to sit here and you know, and fucking go, oh, I'm so mad at that gay guy, I'm gonna kill him. Like, who gives a shit? Like, I don't care if you're gay, do what the fuck you want, as long as you leave me the fuck alone. Like, you know, that's the thing. I want the freedom to do whatever I want, to say whatever I want, and I don't need somebody to tell me what to do or to tell me that I'm a bad person when I do it. You can call me whatever you want, but you know, this is the left has turned into the soy that cried wolf. You know, that's what I call it. They're the soy that cried wolf, because that's what they do. You keep, oh my God, the outrage, and you're like, what? Wait a second. What's the outrage? What really happened? That clearly a guy in a dress couldn't use a woman's bathroom. Why'd you call me over here? Who gives a shit? Use the other one. And you keep doing that over and over again. After a while, people be like, yeah, let me guess. The gays again? Oh, let me guess. They hate black people? Whatever. Shut up. Because when you start, and I think people do a disservice to themselves, because when you start making everything this 5-alarm fire, no one's going to believe you when there's really a 5-alarm fire. You know?
No. When actual fascism arrives, if you're calling everyone Nazis and fascists the whole time, they're never going to believe you when actual fascism arrives. Like,
and you know, it's funny because the left is the one that uses more fascist tactics than anybody. Like, yeah, I always laugh at that. It's like, you guys want to take the guns away. You guys want to tell people what to say. You guys are the ones villainizing a group of people, white people, for example. You guys are villainizing a group of people. You've turned at you hired someone on the New York Times editorial staff who clearly doesn't like white people, and it's like, you're doing this. You hate people because they succeeded, and you think that they got it in some sort of cheating way. No, a lot of people fucking worked hard, you know, to get what they went. And you know what, in this country, you have, because a lot of people are like, well, if you're born black in this country, you don't have the same opportunities as blah blah blah. All right, maybe
you have the same opportunities, you just don't have the same chance of outcome.
Exactly, but then because these numbers are they like to play with these numbers. But at the end of the day, if you look at the world, if you're born a black person in America, you're better off pretty much any other country. Maybe Canada, it's the same thing, but you know what I mean? Like, you're better off. You have more opportunity here than anywhere else. Because I'll tell you this, You're better off being born black in America than being born black in Somalia. You know, you're going to be better off I'm talking statistic. Of course, there's data points and obviously everything's, but statistically speaking, you're going to be better off here. We have the richest poor people on the planet. The poorest people here would be considered kings in pretty much the rest of the world. You know, the fact that the poorest people here could still go to McDonald's and get 5 cheeseburgers for $5 shows you that, all right, well, it's still not bad here. You know what I mean? We're not eating dogs like in Venezuela.
Or starving to death like North Korea, you know, because they want these models. And, you know, it's funny because I'd take that unless you could guarantee me that I could be a pirate if I lived in Somalia.
Pirate would be dope, but my problem is like I don't want to be like I would like to be a pirate, but I want to be like Pirates of the Caribbean pirate. I don't want to be Somali pirate. Like
you don't want to be sniped off a boat by the Navy SEALs as the waves are crashing.
I want to go arr and have like a hook hand and you know swing down a rope with my sword. I don't want to rape and killed in the middle of the ocean.
Dude, that guy, whoever made that shot, fucking phenomenal shot because,
dude,
it was in water.
It was moving, dude. Again, it's like, man. I don't know why why these fucking leftists hate America so much. We're so much better at everybody, at everything. And I know but we're just so much better. Like our military is just better, you know, our dudes are good. Dude, like we're good. Like we, you know, our TV is better, you know, even no matter the Hollywood's full of leftists, our shows are better. You
mean you don't like Indian soap opera TV? Like where
no.
Jump cuts and shock face and everything.
What I don't like is fucking British TV shows that are on for 26 years and have 3 seasons. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh, God, get it. All right, fucking wow. Another season of Luther's coming out in 2050. Like, great. Oh, good. Sherlock's coming out again 5 years after. I already forgot what happened the last season.
Yeah, their gaps are fucking weird, dude.
Yeah, and that's just their teeth. But I don't know, man. I missed a day when that was like the worst thing that we could England and their bad food and big book of British smiles. Ha 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 ha. And now it's like, oh my God, these Muslims are raping everybody over there. Like it's not even fun anymore.
Can't just make fun of their teeth as their children and women get pillaged. It's the pirate days again, dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we have bad teeth, but you know, we also had 10 acid attacks. Oh, now I feel bad for the tooth thing. Like it's, you know, it's like
we took away your guns and knives and butter knives, but you're now safer. But we're gonna take away your kiddie pools too, so that when persons are robbing your house.
Yeah, you don't drown. No, I'm telling you that we talked about today. This roofer who got in trouble, he got fined $300 because he had like some sandwich wrappers and like empty potato chip bags, and it was just in his car. And this is true. He got hit with a 300-pound fine for
having trash in his car,
transporting commercial garbage. It wasn't commercial garbage, but they hit him for it. Transporting commercial waste without a permit.
The fuck?
Where to fucking God, dude? Look it up. It's 100% true. Yeah, dude.
Holy fuck, dude. Okay. You can't have your Cheetos bag in your car, but if you have 10 children in there, you're fine. Good. As long as you're Muslim.
The same way you could fucking give someone HIV in California, but you can't have a straw. Like it's ridiculous.
Everyone's saying it. It hasn't been put in effect. I don't even know when it's going to go into effect.
In San Francisco, it gets put in effect July 20th, 2019.
It's so gay to be blunt. Honestly, dude, like, what? Straws, really?
No, again, it's like that's your biggest problem, not the homeless rate, not in San Francisco, not the people shitting and using heroin on the streets. Like that's your problem is fucking straws. Like again, it's the left is notorious for going after the wrong thing all the time. It's their priorities are so out of fucking whack. Like honestly, the left's priorities are not the people that are shitting on the streets, not the people that are using heroin openly in front of children, Not that these pride parades are turning into pedophile breeding grounds. Not that. Their biggest problem is people that are using straws. Guys in dresses should use these bathrooms, and we need we need more we need higher taxes. That's your priority, guys? Like seriously?
Open borders.
Yeah, open the borders, abolish ICE. That was that's my favorite story of the year. The fucking congressman who tried to pass the abolish ICE rule, like you wanted to abolish ICE, and then the Republicans are like, okay, we'll put it on the floor. Oh no, I'm gonna vote against it though. Oh, so you have no convictions then. I see, because you were just posturing. And then when they said, okay, let's vote on it, you don't have the balls, because here, you know what will happen? If you abolish ICE, if you abolish it and don't put something to replace it, and then when all these murderers come in and all these terrorists come in and they start killing people, boy, are you guys never going to get elected again.
Yeah, that I don't even know who. I don't understand the logic in, like, okay, every country has borders. I'm sorry. Like, if they don't, that's why they're a shithole.
Like, listen, but Dominican Republic has a nice big old border with Haiti. Like, there's a reason for that. There's a reason why the Dominican Republic is doing way better than it. That's what makes us a country. Again, I remember, I'm sure you're my age. As a kid, the thing was like, the New World Order is going to come. It's going to happen, man. But yeah, that's kind of what they're trying to push. Like, I mean, it's not even a joke. They're trying to make this globalized world where everybody. Why? So everybody could fucking suck off our tit? Fuck you. No, we earned our shit. Sorry, guys. You don't get to come in now and go, hey, you guys made a great country. Mind if we ruin it for you? Yeah, I fucking mind. I mind. Like, you know, it's. I always, you know, I know I almost become hack at this point, but I don't see these fucking stars letting immigrants live with them at their house.
Oh, I was watching. What was I watching? Oh, I was watching Crowder. He had done a. It was an old episode, but he was doing. It was during the refugee stuff, and he was basically calling these progressive churches and churches that had this progressive stance of, yeah, we should bring in these refugees from Syria, and Christ would want it and stuff. So he started calling them using his fake voice or whatever, and being like, hey, I work for so and so, we're wanting to bring some of these people over, these refugees, can you store them or care for them at your church? And not a one said yes.
But of course not. Of course they're not going to. Again, they're hypocrites. Everyone's a fucking hypocrite. Everybody's a hypocrite, because when these migrants come, they're not going to be able to afford to live next to you in Beverly Hills. They're going to live next to everybody else. They're going to ruin that. And it's like, oh, you hate immigrants? No, my family's all immigrants. That's why every time they try, are you white nationalist? Like, yeah, Lopez. I'm a white Royce Lopez. I'm a white nationalist. Get the fuck out of here. No, I just know that there's a lot of, again, what about all the people that are doing the paperwork? What about all the people that raise the money and want to come through the process legally? They just get skipped.
Yeah, in their eyes, they. What about a Canadian? The Canadian who's been waiting because he wants to become an American and move down here, and he's been waiting years and doing it the right way or whatever the time frame is. He gets skipped because freaking Juan and his freaking children that are his supposedly show up at the border and he's a refugee. So
much sex traffickers too, because now they're doing these DNA tests on them and they're finding out a lot of these kids don't belong to the people.
Oh, I know.
Cross, and it's like, look at England. We bring up look at England. Look at Sweden. In Sweden, not Sweden, Germany, a dentist got fired from his job because he was using dental records, and he brought it up to the government. He goes, hey, look, I'm seeing these people that are coming in and they're saying that they're 15, 16-year-olds, but they have wisdom teeth. They're in their 20s. Like, and that's all he did. He wasn't a racist or anything. He's just saying, look, I'm a dentist, and looking at dental records, you can normally tell how old somebody is, And he was saying a lot of these people saying they're 16, 15-year-olds or 23-year-olds because they have wisdom teeth. And, you get those in your 20s.
Yeah.
And they fired him and said because those were racist remarks, and the government chastised him, and I think they fined him $6,000 or some shit like that. And they ruined this guy because all he did was go, hey, I don't know if you know this, but this 15-year-old has a full beard and a wife. So I don't know if this is like, again, because that's the trick. You know, they come, they don't have paperwork, and if they do, they don't bring in any of them. They go, oh, I'm 15, and then what do you want kids to die? No, nobody wants kids to die. Nobody wants kids to die, but we also don't want people to get raped.
Well, we also want them to actually be kids.
Exactly. It's and they know that, and that's the problem. Is like people talk shit about us and all this, but they prey on our kindness. That's what they do, man. The people have been preying on our kindness for a long time. You know, for a country that everyone goes, "Well, you hate immigrants." Are you fucking serious? Like, do you know even Sweden? Because they bring up Sweden all the time. Like, they're socialist and everything's. You know that people you know, if you're you're a person from a Swedish American, you still statistically make more money than if you lived you were born in Sweden as a Swedish citizen. That's true.
What they take like 45 or 50% of your income at least.
Sweden is 45%, I believe. No, which is the one that's 60? The Dutch are 60.
Yeah.
60.
Yeah.
It's and these are because, you know, I see, you know, if you're a Burger King employee and in Norway or whatever, you make $20 an hour with full medical, and in the US you get $10 an hour. It's like, yeah, but they take like more than half your money over there. Over here, if you're a Burger King employee, you probably don't pay taxes. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Or you're paying very minimal, like just Social Security and fucking other shit. But honestly, like they use that false equivalency because they don't take into consideration the taxes, and they don't take into consideration. Oh, they're making $20 at McDonald's over there. Okay, they're taking 60% of that, so they're actually only making $8 an hour. You want to go live there, motherfucker?
Yeah. If all these fucking countries are great, why do all of our doctors come from all these other places? Why don't they stay there? Like, you know, think about that. It's like, all these doctors, the Indian doctors, well, there are a lot of Indian doctors, a lot of Asian doctors. It's like, well, why aren't they practicing medicine over in India? Or because, you know why? Because they can make money here. Like, that's why. And it's
not like, as much as they used to, but still, they make more money than they would in their country.
Oh, yeah, no, not as much as they used to, of course. And look, listen, I'm the first one to say that a lot of the things in this, a lot of the medical stuff is overpriced. Of course it is. I'm the first person to say that there's a lot of the stuff that, you know, you look at the bills and, like, you know, you look at some of these horror stories where they charge you a $40 holding your baby fee if you have a baby in some hospitals. Like, it's ridiculous. Jesus. I will 100% agree with that. But you know, there's a reason that stuff happens. You know, it's not because these money hungry it's because they have to. When a lot of people use the system that don't pay their bills and don't have insurance, they have to make their money back some other way. You know what I mean? I mean, let's face it, that's how it works. But again, it's not a perfect system. Of course, the healthcare system could be many ways revamped. But honestly, here's the thing, man. I don't know what's going to happen. But what I do know is that there's a lot of people going to school. They're not going to school to be doctors. They're going for these phony liberal arts sociology degrees, and it's like, that's great.
Don't judge my gender studies degree, man.
Exactly. Like, that's my point. Like, it's these fucking fake ass degrees. It's like, all right, man, what are you gonna do with that? And then, because I see it all the time, and student loans are terrible because I owe $300,000. All right, cool. But then, if you're gonna put $300,000 in, maybe you should have gone into, I don't know, a major that's going to be able to make money. But if you pay $300,000 to be a drama major, you fucking deserve to be in poverty. You deserve it. You deserve it.
Well, I went for business, and guess what? I'm 33 and my school loans are paid off.
Because you went for something you can make exactly. And that's my point. It's like something you make. That's the other thing, Lana. I think a lot of people poo-poo community college. They really do. I really believe
no, dude. Community college is fucking the way I started. Well, sort of started. I didn't just hang out. Like, I went to university right out of high school. Wasn't ready for it. Moved back, did some JC, fixed my grades because I pulled all C's when I was actually out at college, and then went back when I was ready. And dude, I graduated with a 4.0 because I actually put in time and it took me fucking 7 years to get my BA, but who gives a fuck?
Because I think a lot of people are like, I need to go to this college. If you can't afford it, and you, by the way, something else, college ain't for everyone. I'll say this: college isn't for the majority of people. If we're being truly honest, I think that especially now, look, man, you see it all the time. Do you know how much money you can make if you learn how to weld? Like,
oh yeah,
you could make more money than than a lot of industries. And you go to a technical school, you learn how to weld, be a mechanic. And people are looking. You'll always have a job if you're a mechanic. You know, and
they're the doctors of the auto industry. Yeah. I mean, that's not going anywhere. We'll always need cars. Yeah, they'll advance and shit, but you're always going to have cars of some sort.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, you know, our buddy Dave Martell always said the other day, it's like, you know, drop out of college and go to a trade school, because, you know, I do believe that. Listen, there's certain things that you do need a college degree for. I will 100% look. Listen, nobody wants a doctor that didn't go to college. Nobody wants a lawyer that didn't go to law school. You know, but
I don't know. There's a lot of armchair lawyers these days.
Oh my God, everyone's a fucking lawyer now. It's fuck you,
myself included.
You watch Better Call Saul, it'll make you a lawyer. But you know, it's like I watch Law and Order. I think I know how the legal justice system works. Yeah, exactly. Boy, was there nothing better than being sick and just watching a Law and Order marathon on USA? Like that was the life.
Dude, what happened to USA having good shows, man?
Fucking USA now is Mike and I always joke about it, but it's like USA shows are like Beach Doctors or just these dumb,
you know, fucking greatest show on USA, and you might disagree, but I loved Psych. And I'm rewatching it.
I haven't seen it, but Mersh really likes it. He said it was really good.
Oh yeah, really. You need to watch it.
Another good USA show was iRobot.
Yeah,
but the reason that one was good was because it wasn't specifically made for USA. They shopped it out to a bunch of networks in USA.
Hold on, you mean Mr. Robot?
Sorry, I meant to say Mr. Robot, not iRobot.
Yeah, is that still going?
Yeah, it's on their third season's filming now, I think.
Oh yeah, dude, that show was really good. Creepy as fuck and like super druggy, but.
Johnson in the chat says USO's best show was Duckman. Oh, I fucking remember Duckman. That show was fucking weird. And yes, I still watch Monday Night Raw, but it's fucking really hard to watch now.
WWF? Who said WWF? You got to get with the times, man.
WWF. Get the F out, man. But yeah, no, you know this. It's but we are look, I'll say this: we are in a golden age, I think, of TV, but I also do believe that we are getting oversaturated. Like,
fuck yeah.
Like sometimes there'll be some shows that I'm like, oh, that show, I can't watch that. I'm like fucking 5 episodes behind on this show, and then I gotta watch this show, and it's like, look, I'm a person who'll watch any show that HBO puts out. Like so far, HBO hasn't fucked up. Like except for the second season of True Detective, which was horseshit. But besides that, pretty much every show that HBO puts out, I'm gonna watch. It's gonna be good. You know, they're putting. I don't know, man. It's. Remember back in the days when if you were a television actor, they looked down on you. It was like, oh, TV actor, you're a loser. And now Anthony Hopkins is on fucking TV shows.
Yeah, and a lot of people. There was someone else that had a Netflix original series. Oh, freaking Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, well, before the whole kid fucking thing, Kevin Spacey was another one. Robin Wright, you know, and I like Dave Chappelle's joke. It's like, man, come on, Kevin, come on, you couldn't wait to tell on Kevin Spacey 6 months. I want to see how House of Cards ended, and it's like, god damn, that's a good point. Like, just wait 6 more months, god damn it. But no, I mean and now the new season of House of Cards is going to be all Robin Wright, which means it's going to suck. But
woman in the lead role, dude. They're supposed to be in the kitchen, I thought.
Yeah, well, you know, that they don't have to be in the kitchen. They could also be barefoot and pregnant somewhere else. Like, gives a shit. That's the way I look at it. No,
actually, they don't belong in the kitchen because the top 10 chefs in the world, 9 of them are men. So women shouldn't probably be in the kitchen either.
Men are better at everything, women. I'm really sorry. That's why on our show we have the whole hashtag repeal the 19th. Like, look, women, we like you, but you shouldn't be able to vote. You know, and I mean, that's it. Look, listen. It's not as bad of a stance as you think, because most women don't want to think, because don't want to vote because it involves thinking, and they don't want to think. Like, you think women want to think? They don't want to think. Come on, get out of here. You think you want to sit there and go, I need to think? No, you don't. You don't want to think. You want to be taken care of. You want to be taken around in a carriage that turns into a pumpkin at midnight. I mean, I know. Look, listen. Ladies, let's be honest. You know what you want.
No, we need Disney princesses that's trans.
No. What women want is a hot construction guy drinking Diet Coke and using a jackhammer. Like, that's what women want. Women want that. Women want fucking Aquaman or what's his name, Jason Momoa, to come in.
Oh yeah.
And Khaleesi fuck him. That's what they want.
No, I want to Khaleesi fuck Khaleesi, man.
Oh God, dude. Let me tell you something.
Stop showing her titties, dude.
She's very pretty. I will say that. However, she's not the greatest actress.
I don't give a shit. I like looking at her.
I know. But by the way, the hot Marjorie was pretty fucking hot too.
Yeah.
Fucking sexy as shit. And Cersei could get it too. She's older, but she could get it. But yeah, I mean, you know, it's I'm kidding, ladies. Well, no, I'm not kidding about the voting thing. You shouldn't vote. But it's like, do you really want that responsibility, or do you want to be treated like ladies? Do you want to vote, or do you want me to open a door for you and get you a shake and a burger at the shack and make out at Makeout Point? You want the Makeout Point thing. You know what you want. You know what women want? Women want Pleasantville before that disgusting color took over. That's
and you know, feminists are so, you know, pro their own stance that they don't even date feminist men.
No, well, of course, the feminist women want to date an alpha male dude. Like, understand that, ladies.
Well, they'll take a fucking even a beta, but as long as he's non-fucking feminist.
Yeah, no, because nobody wants to be friend zone. At the end of the day, listen, women. Well, I'm going to sound really misogynistic. Oh boy. Okay, well, I don't care. Women sometimes want to be told to shut up. I mean that. They might get angry at you, but how many times? No, you've heard this. How many times have you heard, like, I don't know, I just wish you would fight back a little bit and not just take it? I've heard that a lot.
Yeah,
like,
so have I.
Like, oh, he lets me yell at him. Ew, gross. No, women sometimes want to be told, hey, shut the fuck up, I'm talking. I know it sounds barbaric, and I know, but sometimes, because then if you know, they're gonna bang the dude who treats him like shit. You know, at least he's a real man. He might call me a cunt, but he's a real man. You know, before I got married, how many times I got laid just being a dick? Like, not even on purpose, but just been like, whatever. I don't really care though. Like, I don't want to hear your story about your cats. Like, no one fucking cares. I don't care. And if you're funny enough and if you're witty enough, I mean, I'm not talking about being, you're a fucking sluts. I'm not talking about like the fucking pickup shit. But if you're just funny, if you're a funny guy and you're witty enough, you're fine. You know, all this virtue signaling and stuff, it's like male feminists never get laid. And that's the truth. I mean, except by other male feminists.
No, they get laid. That's why they get rape accusations so often.
That's a good point, man. And even still, like it's these. I don't know, man. They shut up wave. Yeah, exactly. It's like shut up. All right, I heard your story. You know, listen. This is how I think it should work. I think that if you're married or you have a girlfriend or whatever, you should have a ticker in your head how long you could hear about Susan at work. And once you reach that number in your head, whatever that number is, you go, all right, enough about Susan. All right, I know. She's a bitch. She doesn't get you. You want to watch Westworld and shut up for a bit? And 99% of the time, be like, yeah, you're right. Let's just watch Westworld. And you'll be happy. You'll have a happy life. I'm telling you, that's the easiest thing. You listen, ladies, why should you get to vote if you can't even decide where the fuck you want to go to dinner? All right? We'll work on getting where you want to eat first, and then maybe we'll work into voting. Let's not rush into voting. When you guys could go, where do you want to eat? And you go, I want to eat at the Olive Garden. And you're like, oh, wow, awesome. But it's always like, where do you want to eat?
I don't know.
I don't know. Where do you want to eat? Then you go, all right, well, I mean, you want to go to Applebee's? Oh, God, place is gross. All right, fine. You want to go to Cheesecake Factory? Oh, no, you know I'm dieting. Bitch, that's why I asked you. You know? Come on. I'll figure it out. You know? Because at the end of the day, I like to eat chicken wings anywhere. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, seriously. That's when they're like, oh, I just want you to pick because I want to give you. I always pick. No, I could eat anything. Like, I'm not picky. I'm not you. How about you pick and then I'll just find something on the menu I like. Because if I do that to you, you're gonna bitch.
Yeah, I'll be like, I'll eat anywhere. I don't really fucking care. Like, all I want to do is get out of the house. Like, wherever you want. I don't give a fuck. but you know, it's
Sizzler. What the fuck? Are those still places?
There is one. We actually on the show found an old commercial, I think like from the 90s, an investment video that Sizzler made to get a franchisee video. Holy fuck. If you ever get a chance, look up Sizzler commercial. It is just amazing. It's everything that America should be in a commercial. And yes, there is a Sizzler, but because we're in Orlando, so if you're any restaurants in Orlando don't close.
No, because they don't. They have tons of
tourists and
yeah.
People, believe it or not, like most people when they come here, they want to eat at a place they recognize.
Yeah.
And we still have Bennigan's here. We have like 2 Bennigan's, and like they're nowhere else. Like there's a lot of places here that you can't even find other places because we cater to everybody here. And if you have to be really bad if you're a restaurant owner in Orlando for it to close, because there's plenty of people. You know, they're fucking plenty of people. And Sizzler, yeah, man, Sizzler was one of those places that had like a salad bar and like a $5.99 steak. Oh, I'm sure it's going to be delicious. A $6 steak. I bet you it's as good as Golden Corral's prime rib. Gross.
Now, and since we're on the restaurants, and I figure we'll close out pretty soon, but bringing it back to wrestling, have you ever been to Scott Steiner's Shoney's?
I have not. Wait, where's is that the one where
I think it's in Georgia?
No, I haven't. I have been to the same Ponderosa where Tiger cheated on his wife with that girl, though. I have been there.
Yeah. Scott Steiner has a Shoney's now, dude. You know. Oh, and Aceworth, GA.
But okay, so he has what he needs to do is fix that fucking gap in his chest, that fucking weirdo looking dude. I mean, man, he used to be such a great wrestler, and then he just became Roydy Magoo. Like, it was fucking bad. That man can't, like, look, I'm all for getting in shape, and I'm all for, you know, I'm even for like older dudes when when your test goes down, get testosterone replacement. It's pretty safe. It is. I mean, but I'm not for these, or you know, even HGH. If you do it right, if you do anything right, you know, you'll be fine. But this, where you can't wipe your own ass bullshit, I don't know, man. Like that's like, fuck that. Fuck that shit. And by the way, man, we wrestlers, please, man, we live right next to Tampa. Tampa's where wrestlers go to die. So like Hulk Hogan here, John Cena lives here. Every wrestler lives here. Like every wrestler lives here. It's just a place to be. And also because it's where WWE's developmental things is here too.
Yeah, and so people just end up going there and then teaching or whatever.
You know, Florida gets a lot of shit, and listen, I get it. We get a lot of the Florida stories. We get, oh, Florida man does this, and Florida man yeah, you're fucking right, but guess what? In 1 hour, I could be on either the Gulf Beach or the Atlantic Beach, and I'll take the weirdos if it means I get a chill by the beach that doesn't have fucking syringes like the Jersey Shore. And that's real, by the way. Like, it really is like fucking use needles and Jersey Shore. If you try to go on the beach, you have to pay money to use their beach. It's gross.
Ugh, that's
yeah.
I don't know. I've never had to deal with that. California beaches are pretty chill.
Yeah, you guys do. I would say that you guys do have nice beaches.
Yeah, that's the environmentalist, you know, in California. I mean, you get some shitty areas when after big events and stuff, but what place doesn't, you know?
Oh yeah, that's true.
So, you guys got anything? What's the DC trip? You guys got that coming up? You want to shill that to the remaining?
September 8th, I believe, is when the 6th or 8th. I have to look it up. That weekend is when the More rally is, the mother of all rallies. Actually, that's the year anniversary because we went to last year's. We just hit our 1 year anniversary, or we will be hitting our 1 year anniversary next week of the show.
So your channel's been around for a year now?
I believe the 15th of this month is a year.
Fuck you guys. What? Damn, dude. I was like super stoked because I broke 500 today.
Oh, but don't feel bad, man. Like, I mean, the truth of the matter is that Dan Schneider thing really helped us a lot. We just got we blew up big on that. But no, I'm not going to sell it so short, you know. But
you guys have been doing it a year. That's a good growth number.
Yeah, no, I know. And we get still. And by the way, we're almost at 5,000. That was we're almost at 5,000 subs. Within a year, we got 2, not 1, 2 90-day bans from live streaming. So
Jesus.
that's half the year. Half the year we couldn't even broadcast on YouTube. We were like insurgents broadcasting other places and uploading it to YouTube, and getting a Twitch hate speech strike, and getting our original Twitter account deleted for no reason. So, I mean, and my personal Facebook is gone. I'll never get it back. 12 years I've had that account. Gone. Deleted.
Jesus.
Gone. And they never even told me why. They said it was a copyright thing, but I never did anything copyright-wise. That's just what they do when they want. Because I asked them, okay, can you tell me what I did? And they wouldn't tell me. So that's in spite of everything. I mean, if maybe we weren't pushed down, we would have grown faster. But, you know, that's because our fans are good and they're fucking crazy. But you put on a good show, too. You're gonna be fine, dude. You're just...
No, I just like fuck it, because I hear, dude, there's like you guys, you know, Wang, that motherfucker, dude, he puts us all to shame, but
yeah,
he's been on as long as me and he's at like 120.
Yeah,
thousand.
It's the thing that breaks. It's the thing that breaks. It's the thing that that goes back. And no, yeah, truly, I seriously can't get my main Facebook back. It's gone. I have a backup one, and every time I've created like a couple fake ones. You know, not fake ones, but alt ones. And then the moment I log in with my IP at my house, they're deleted. So I'm IP banned from Facebook.
Damn.
And, you know, again, it must be because I'm sort of Cuban Nazi, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the bald head, man. They think you're, you know, skinhead.
Yeah, or fucking the beard. They think I'm a Muslim. Like, I lose no matter what. But
you want to show anything else before we call it a night?
I mean, just, you know, my channel, Revenge of the Sis on YouTube, and revengeofthesis.com, where you, my friend, are a writer on there and just wrote a story. We love when you write stories on there. So,
yeah, I think I'll be writing another one on the, we didn't get to talk about it, but the quartering situation and him getting attacked.
You definitely should. And I'm happy to come on anytime. And you, of course, are welcome on our show anytime you want, my friend. We always have a good time when we have you on. This was, wow, it's 1:30. Jesus Christ. That was a time flew. Holy shit. That was fun.
Yeah, you got to get me over on Hippo Juice too, or your other show sometime.
I will. You could absolutely are welcome to come on. That's more of a comedy-based show, but you are more than welcome to come on anytime. Like we like you, dude. You were on our fucking channel when we were at 300 subs. So I mean, you're OG.
Yeah. Well, and we did the male health awareness thing together because of Audacious Leaf.
That's right. That's right. By the way, she's been back in our chat again. I guess she's
chilling out. Yeah, she reached out to me, or I reached out to her, and I was just like, hey, and she's like, I'm so sorry, I was such a cunt back then. I'm like, okay, cool.
We're fine. She's still my friend on Facebook. I mean, it's okay, man. Look, again, I forgive a lot of stuff when you're in your 20s and you do things. It shit happens. I don't really care. You know, as I've gotten older, I've softened on a lot of things. Like I've just been like, you know, I forgive a lot of dumb stuff because, like I said, I was the evangelical atheist dude, man. I was edgelord at like, yeah, well, if God's so good, I'm like, oh, I look back at some of my stuff and I'm like, oh my God, I was such a faggot. Like, why would I listen to myself? You know, but I mean, I think that's a part of it. I think it's all right to be shitty, man. As long as, you know, it happens. That's part of growing up. But I mean, as long as you learn and you grow, you know, when you're in your 30s, and I think it's an old quote. It's like, you know, if you're in your 20s. If you're in your 20s and you're not a liberal, you have no heart. And if you're in your 40s and not a conservative, you have no money. And
yeah, right.
and that's how it is. And that's the way life is, I think, you know. And I just want to go back to the days, like I said, to bring it all back together when we were able to just joke and have fun. And even though we disagreed about politics, be like, well, you know, I think that military intervention isn't the greatest idea. Yes, I know. Anyway, did you watch Seinfeld last night? And everyone was fine, you know. And
yeah, it needs to go back to open conversation and can have conversations that aren't just driven by, I hate this, I hate that. Like, find common ground.
That would be fucking wonderful.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It'll be great to be moving forward. So
yeah, that was fun, man. This was I like this this interview thing you do. That was great. Just talking is fun.
Yeah, and that's the one thing is I just want it to be conversation based and let it go where it goes, you know.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun, man. I will definitely do it again.
And if any of you guys, the rest of you guys are new here, throw a subscription on the channel. Thank you for watching, and thanks to all of the Revenge of the Sis fans who have been subscribing and following my channel recently. You guys are the best. I will see you guys tomorrow.